What's up, everybody? This is episode 17 of the League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast. Sorry we missed you last week, but we're back. I'm your host, Mike, joined as always by Alex.
Good morning, Wappingers.
and Dennis. Oh my God. Wow, flashbacks. I mean, I think everybody gets that reference.
What's the reference?
Yeah, what's the, I don't know what the reference is
what's the reference?
Mr. Ramirez.
That reference.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about his mustache. I was like, what do you mean?
No.
Yeah, it's on.
No, I'm still laughing at Mr. Ramirez. Never going to forget that.
It's me, Mr. Ramirez. Or is it my twin brother?
It's him.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So,
Dennis, take it over.
We're back, yeah. I'm tired, as always. So,
hey, listen. You said your name was Mike. Anyway, so looking at our itinerary, sorry we last week. We just absolutely could not be bothered. I know I couldn't have been, and everybody else could have been either. But don't you worry. We're going to do 2 weeks of content. Try to get it under 2 hours. Probably not going to work out, but we will try our best. All right, so we got the arm wave out of the week. We have to point out the elephant in the room. The big elephant, or the lack thereof an elephant in this room.
Who are you calling?
Elephant guy. Well, I was going to go somewhere with that, but I completely didn't. But Lucho's not here again. And I'd like to have
thoughts
a
and
moment
prayers
of silence for Lucho, who once again died.
Second
Kidding. He has something going on, something about a cannoli festival. I don't know. But sorry for the episode last
Italians,
week.
am I right?
Oh, yeah, am I right? We couldn't be bothered. But moving on, and I'm going to actually defer to Alex here because it looks like we have some fan mail.
Yes.
whoa.
Thank you, fans. Let me clear my throat for this one.
Let me clear my throat.
So the first fan mail we've had in a few months, I think. It's been a little while.
Since before I was a part of the podcast, I think I was the last one.
Yeah, so this is a good one. We actually had fan mail for last week's episode, but we didn't air or record or do anything. So that one was thrown out, and we have a new fan mail from the same person.
All right.
So, dear the League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast, fuck Anthony. Here's some interesting Anthony facts. Anthony is the only person to start 0-3 both years, let alone 0-4. Anthony is the only team to never be at least 500 besides 0-0. Anthony is the only team with multiple 4+ game losing streaks. If you count his streak to end last year and the streak to begin this year as 1, then Anthony currently has an 8-game losing streak, which is the longest in league history. Anthony has a career 176 win percentage, which is the worst in the league. Also, his 102.4 career points game is also the worst in the league. If I had to criticize one thing about the show, it's you guys don't talk about how shitty Anthony is enough. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's duly noted. I made sure in the show sheet that I revised some points there just to make sure we emphasize that Anthony is terrible. Hopefully that helps you out here. So love your number one fan, Dog. P.S. Fuck Anthony. So that brings me into my next thing. Number one fan of the week definitely goes to Dog for sending in fan mail. So thank you for that. This is really appreciated, and all this hard work you put in to get these statistics and facts about Anthony.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was Kyle. I thought that.
If you saw, you would have had to hear "big fuck dick."
Yeah, that's true. If it was typed out in all caps, I would assume it was Kyle, but I don't know if it was.
No, it was just a normally typed paragraph.
All right. So anything else on that? We have more fan mail, or is that just...
That's the only fan mail, despite some rumors of fan mail being written but not submitted. I don't know what that's about, but saving it for the episode they're going to be on. But I mean, that's
fine by me.
Why we do have fan mail for the episode you're a guest on, but I digress. Go on.
All right.
Dennis.
All right. So let's keep this fucking train moving. So we skipped 2 weeks, obviously. So we've had 2 weeks of games, surprisingly, with the world fucking ending, with the league ending, it seems like. But hey, listen, week 3, I'm gonna run through them quickly. I'm going to just go out of them, and then we'll go by them one by one like we usually do a biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just going to read them off. First one, Thom beat Lucho by 133.4 to 127.38. Phil beat Big Al 174.32 to 149.8. Kyle beats Shitty Anthony. It's reading verbatim here, okay? So 139.72 to 96.6. Big Doggy Dog beat me 152.8 to 133.64. Nick beat Bruce 197.82 to 148.26. And Alex, a.k.a. Peanut, a.k.a. Hotch, a.k.a. Hawk, whatever the fuck we want to call him this week, 158.64 beats Skyler 111.08. And we're going to start the list because I said so. Anyway, so I don't have it up yet. Does anybody have it up yet?
I do. I've got it up.
You do. So you go first because I want to try to keep this under 2 hours. Let's go with Thom. Biggest surprise, biggest disappointment.
Biggest surprise, man. I would say it's got to be. I don't know even how much of a surprise it is. He didn't have too many surprises here. But the biggest one's got to be Tyler Boyd getting 24.5 points if I'm picking one out of here. Just the fact that Tyler Boyd is getting used so much, despite earlier in the season we were seeing A.J. Green be heavily targeted, but just wasn't converting to NFL success. It wasn't converting to fantasy success. Biggest disappointment, it's Leonard Fournette got hurt. He only got 4.2 points. I think actually I would go with Lamar Jackson only getting 14.8, 18 points.
I agree with that.
That was against the Chiefs, right? This week 3. Yes, it was against the Chiefs.
Yes.
And they actually did a really good job of limiting his ability to do much of anything. He had a decent amount of rushing yards. I don't have those stats in front of me, but I know he had less than 100 passing yards. So that was big by the Chiefs to be able to stop that. And it was really, I think that was almost a difference maker because Thom did just squeak out a win against Luch, but it was a real close one here.
I'm going to stop you right here. How do I see the scores again?
Oh, go to on the website, go to reports.
How do
franchise.
Okay. Hold on. You go reports,
franchise, fantasy recaps.
Okay, I can do. All right.
And then on the Lucho side, biggest surprise there. I would say it's Carson Wentz. Just like he's been pretty bad this season, but he's still got 21.5 points. So you got to be happy with that. Biggest disappointment. Definitely, I'm going to go with a double disappointment here, but both of his tight ends he started. Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert. I know Dallas Goedert got hurt too, but Mark Andrews, he had a terrible game. Only 5.
I would say DJ Moore, maybe a little bit bigger for a guy who's supposed to be number one receiver. I think he's having kind of a quiet year. I know new quarterback and everything. Not
he's having
great.
a lot of targets, but no touchdowns. No, yeah. Robbie Anderson's the one that's really shining there.
Go figure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So keep going. Keep going with that.
Do you want to move on to you want to just go back and forth? We'll let Bruce handle the next matchup.
Yeah. Go to the next one. I'm still trying to figure out the website. I'm sorry.
No problem. So next matchup was Phil beat me by about 25 points.
Let's start with. I guess let's start with Alex's side. I'll just go right off the bat. Deontay Johnson got hurt, but I guess Joe Mixon, biggest disappointment from week 3, only 8.5. I mean, in a week where you lost by 25, if Mixon has even an average game for him, and if like someone like maybe Deontay Johnson doesn't get hurt, maybe you pull it off. But 175 is tough to beat.
Let's go to 150. I was happy with it. So
right, you're right. You can only do so much. For Phil, James Robinson, biggest surprise. At this point, we kind of know what he is, but 30.9. I think
on
even in week
game.
3.
Yeah, I think that week you were like, well, he could be good, and then he basically was the entire fucking offense. So yeah, definitely.
I think I called it before the game too, Dennis. And I texted you really early. Like James Brown's trying to score 25 on me, and then.
I think it was during the game, but yeah.
It was early. I know.
It was early on in the game, so yeah.
Biggest disappointment. I don't know. I guess you could say Kenyon Drake for Phil, but when you score 175, how big of disappointments can you have? But I guess Kenyon Drake's been disappointing all year. I've been burned in the past, so this is expected for me. But I mean, I guess biggest disappointment. He's supposed to have a big expectation.
All right. Well, since Dennis, are you good over there yet? Or
No.
okay, we'll go to the next matchup. We'll bring it back to me then. This matchup was Joey beating Kyle by about 14 points. Biggest surprise on Kyle's side. His team actually, wait a minute. No, I'm on the wrong.
All right, walk me through this one more.
Sorry, I'm on the wrong week. Kyle beat Anthony by about 45 points. Biggest surprise on Kyle's side. His whole team did pretty well, but I would say just probably the dominance of Jared Goff getting 26.24. Biggest disappointment. I'm not even going to go with a disappointment on his side. It's just I'll go to disappointment to Anthony's side. Biggest disappointment on Anthony's side was definitely Marquise Brown. It's another Ravens thing, but only 3.3 points in this game. That's just real. That sucks when you're trying to win, scoring less than 100 points.
Gotcha. All right. I finally have it figured out now. I apologize if for the last 5 minutes I've been staring at my phone like an idiot. So, all right. Where are we at now? So we're pretty much done with that matchup? Yeah.
Joey beat you, Dennis. So I'll let Mike handle this one, and then you could do the last two.
Sure. No problem. Good.
Joey won. Like we said, Joey beat Dennis. I'll start with Dennis. Biggest disappointment. I mean, not having Justin Jefferson in, but at this point, what are you going to do? Like you can't. I don't think you could. Him. Exactly. You're not starting him. Yeah. Exactly. But it's the worst when that happens, when you leave a guy on your bench and he absolutely goes off, especially a close matchup like this. It would have put you over the top. But as far as your starting roster, I would say T.Y. Hilton. I feel like you could have expected more out of him.
I would say Tannehill, but that's just me. Anytime your quarterback scores like less than 15 points is like, for me, it's like not an ideal situation. But yeah,
I know. When I'm thinking of quarterbacks, I always want 250 yards, which is pretty on the low side, and 2 touchdowns. Right. So that ends up being what?
14?
18.
Let me get the math wrong. 250.
10 by the yards. Yeah, 18 points is right. What I'm looking for from a quarterback, unless it's like my like a Mahomes or a Dak Prescott or something like that.
Right.
Obviously, I'm looking for more, but for just a random QB2.
Yeah. All right, keep it going.
Biggest surprise. I mean, not really. I know mine for Joey. I mean, at this point, Darrell Henderson for this week, or Mike Davis.
But that Darrell Henderson's a good one too.
Because I think when we talked about it, we didn't expect anything from that Rams backfield, especially against a very good defensive Buffalo team. But yeah, for Henderson to put up 21, I was pretty surprised at that. But yeah, Mike Davis, because I think we didn't know what he was going to do, stepping in for McCaffrey, and he's filled in really nicely.
He's pretty much 90% of McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So. I just wasn't expecting him to be used just as much as McCaffrey gets used. I was expecting him to be like the classic, like, okay, big time running back goes down. They they have a guy, but then there's another one that's definitely.
And I think going into this, you could have, because I think Joey had Gardner Minshew, who had a biggest disappointment for Dog would be Gardner Minshew, because we just discussed.
And Gesicki, who had 1 catch for a touchdown, that killed me.
Hey, as a tight end, I'll take that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, especially unless you're starting like one of the top, 3 or 5 guys. I think that's what you're looking for when you're just streaming a tight end.
I'm never one of those guys to be like, oh, I got this in the bag. But after I saw that opening Thursday night, I was like, I think I got this.
Right. You figure 2 guys.
I got punched in between the fucking eyes. So
because everyone else went off. All right, yeah, Dennis. Next matchup, we got Nick beating Bruce by about a little over 40 points.
Glad you.
Can I before you start anything?
50 points. Sorry.
Before you start anything, can I just say that I'm not disappointed that I lost. I'm disappointed that I lost to an inactive owner.
He sets his lineup.
He sets his lineup.
That's great, but it's frustrating when a guy who he opens the app, sets his lineup, and shuts it. It's kind of frustrating. But
I like how
that being said,
the one other person to score like 200 points was against you.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so I'll start with BD's team. Biggest surprise is Kamara. I know he's capable of it, but anytime anybody almost drops 50 points, you can't expect that. So, I mean, right then and there, that's pretty much the difference in this matchup right there. Like, that's just a monster. Biggest disappointment, I want to say it's O.J. Howard, but I think he actually had a good day, getting almost 8 points. I'd probably say maybe Jerry Jeudy, given the circumstances of that week.
I guess,
But even still, like,
you know what,
really nothing there.
When I'm doing these matchups, I'm almost thinking, like, I'm just going to pick a surprise from the winner and a disappointment from the loser because it's so hard to sometimes pick disappointments when you win the week, you know?
Yeah, and then I will go over to Big Brucey Bruce here. Josh Jacobs, right there, and Darren Waller. So both those guys are big disappointments. I mean, Darren Waller from the week prior was pretty much the entire offense and then had what looks like, one catch or two?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And Jacobs just shows, like, I love Josh Jacobs, but I've said it a million times how Gruden frustrates me with his use, how he just refuses to use him on passing downs. It's always Jalen Richard or, I guess, Devontae Booker. But it's frustrating. And it's frustrating as far as, like, just fantasy in general, where Jacobs didn't have a terrible game. I think he had something like 75 yards. But when you don't have a touchdown and when you're not used in the passing game, like, that's what shows up for fantasy, 9 points, which is a bad fantasy game. But again, in real life, he didn't have a bad game. But but that's just, my own comment.
I would say biggest surprise for me is
Still Josh Allen.
Probably Josh Allen, yeah. Josh Allen, or even Drew Brees having as good of a game as he did, not throwing the ball more than 5 yards down the field.
Kamara just having that gigantic.
It's crazy. It's insane.
Just carried Drew Brees.
Yeah, I would say probably both the quarterbacks because, I mean, I think this is the week where people went, wow, Josh Allen might be for real. Because I saw somewhere today, or actually heard in a podcast today, that he's out of the top 10 in rushing yards, which is surprising.
His accuracy is just leaps and bounds ahead of last year. So
yeah,
love it. All right, so let's go to the next one. It was
Alex beat Skyler by about 55 points.
Yeah.
No,
so
I can't do math. I don't know. 45 points.
Sure. Okay. So biggest surprise, biggest disappointment. I would say biggest surprise, Tyler Lockett almost dropping 40 points. I mean, Lockett's that offense is seemingly unstoppable because Russell Wilson looks like fantastic this year, but Metcalf had a good game too. And for Lockett, I think he had 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards.
He had 3 touchdowns in the first half, I think.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Biggest disappointment, I'm probably going to go with Baker Mayfield, just because like I said, anytime a quarterback scores below 15 points, I'm looking at it as a disappointment. Even surprise too, like a sneaky surprise, like an honorary mention. Even Gronkowski catching a touchdown, it looks like, because Gronkowski has not been. And I think most people expected him to be this, but like maybe be a little more effective. But he's really not. But I digress. We'll go over to Skyler's team. Biggest surprise, probably Brady, because I think Brady was coming off a bad week 2, if I remember correctly. It's so far in the past. Biggest disappointment,
Sean Jackson, Darius Slayton.
Jackson got hurt. I'd say Darius Slayton.
Honestly, probably Robbie Anderson, only with 10 points, just because
how this year's been going.
Yeah, just based on how he's been doing this year. Darius Slayton is probably more or less the biggest disappointment, just because of what he can be capable of. But that offense just looks fucking horrible.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, this is, like we said, this is what we kind of expect out of Skyler's team. And to be honest, I mean, he caught Alex on a good week. So moving past it, because that was in the past. So what are we going to do next? Let's keep it moving.
Week 4.
Week 4. I closed the Google Doc because I'm an idiot. No, I didn't. Just kidding. All right. Remember, just remind me if you get a notification, let me know because I don't get them. Let's go to week 4. Quattro. Other names for 4. Anyway, so I'm going to read them off real quick. Bear with me, and then we'll go into in-depth like we did. So first on the docket is I beat Thom 136.32 to 127.22. Alex.
Wow.
Alex beat Shitty Anthony 129.14 to 92.24. Joey beats
Before you
Kyle.
move on, I just want to note that my 2 lowest scoring weeks are the weeks I have wins in.
Go fucking figure.
Fantasy for you.
Oh, man. Joey beats Kyle 134.04 to Kyle's 102.3. Phil beat Lucho 152.28, 114.02, which I think we slated as the matchup of the week. Or
We didn't have any matches of the week.
We didn't even have a podcast. This is Stockholm syndrome. Just kidding. That's not that either. All right. Nick beats Skylar 170.08 to 123.06. And Bruce beats Peanut 182.66 to 160.34. So before we get into it, 120. Oh, my bad. 120.34. So get to the current standings. We'll read them off really quick. Are these in order of power ranking, or is it just in any particular order?
Top 6 is the normal standings, and yes, the bottom 6 is in the order of draft pick. So the team that's 12th would have the first pick.
Okay. So current standings are Nick is 4-0, Joey is 4-0, Bruce is 3-1, I'm 3-1, Al is 2-2, Thom is 2-2, Phil is 2-2, Lucho's 2-2, Peanut is 1-3, Kyle is 2-2, Skylar's 0-4, and Shitty Anthony is 0-4. So I hope we're appealing to Dog here, because I mean we're really driving home that Anthony Shitty. So do you want to do that? Do you want to circle back to the matchups when we're done, or do you want to go over the trades and waivers?
Let's do the matchups real quick.
Do the matchups real quick? All right, perfect. All right, let me get back to the top of my page. If you have it up, Al, you feel free to go with it.
I do. So first matchup, you beat Tom. I'm going to say the biggest disappointment on Tom's team. Oh, man. I mean, he has a couple here. One of them we'll talk about a little later, but he made a panic trade and it didn't pan out. I don't know how much of a disappointment that player was, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I think what he got out of him was, I think he hit his projection right on.
Yeah. I got to give the biggest disappointment to Marvin Jones. And that's not even just this week. Marvin Jones is just, you can't use him for fantasy anymore, which I was wrong because I was there with Tom. I thought it was a pretty good move for him to get Marvin Jones and whatever deal it came in. But you can't even use him anymore. It sucks. Biggest surprise, Dennis, on your side. I'm going to say I almost want to say Justin Jefferson, but we already saw it. So I want to say Jameson Crowder because we didn't even know how he was going to be used in that game. It was like a last-second decision that you put him in your lineup or you were thinking about it for a while. So the fact that he got you almost 20 points on coming back from injury is huge.
And not shitty Jeff Smith.
Fuck Jeff Smith.
Fuck Jeff Smith. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, this is by far, and I haven't been playing fantasy seriously for a long time. I've played it, but this is the first year I've taken it real seriously. But this was the craziest matchup because of just all the subplots involved in it. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but the Adams and then the Will Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce play, and then Nick Chubb got hurt. And
then the fact that the last 2 games just didn't do much for fantasy points.
And then, and Matt Ryan didn't have absolutely had as bad of a game as he could have had. Because every touchdown was a girly dump off, and it was or a run. It was crazy.
Yeah,
but
I think going into that the Falcons Green Bay game, I think you probably thought, oh, Tom's got this one.
Yeah, I told Alex I was going to be sick multiple times. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Thom's team, I got incredibly lucky. I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't, because Godwin and Adams didn't.
The fact that Adams didn't get ruled out until Monday morning.
But honestly though, it's not bashing Tom or anything, but you need to be, especially this season, you got to be prepared for things like that.
Yeah, but all the
before
news,
the day, but
the news was that he was going to play.
Yeah, but you can't. But you can't go like that.
I guess, but I mean, I played Mahomes and
I think if they're
without knowing if that game was going to happen.
I think if they're playing a team, and no offense to you, Al, if they're not playing the Falcons, if they're playing a team that's 4-0 or 3-0 at that point, I should say, or a team in that's a real tough matchup, I think he plays.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because they have a bye week next week, and I think they're just get right. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was.
I just think I think it's different. You with Mahomes, that's a tougher scenario, and I understand how good Adams is, But I think like if you knew all week, you should have had like some kind of like contingency plan or.
Well, he did. He made a trade.
No, I get he made the trade, but like we kind of said it was a panic trade. I just think there's other ways to be prepared than the Monday at 6 p.m. make a quick trade so you can just slot a guy in, or you have to go. Let me just keep my asset. I'll just take the loss if it is what it is, and because honestly, he lost by 9. Even if he doesn't play, I mean, Matt Ryan should have been good enough to make up that 8.5 and then the 9-point gap based on like what the Falcons have done. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just, but again, I would also set myself up like days prior. Like you knew he was hurt. This wasn't like a COVID thing.
Even in the same vein of that, I will say this: Nick Chubb going down in that game where both those running backs for Cleveland went off, I think obviously hurt me a lot. So, but it is what it is. Things happened, and it was.
I was going to say too, he didn't really have someone else that was a better start. Like he could have started Laviska
No, he didn't.
But
he didn't.
That's what I mean. Like even if it's it's like
I don't think that's worth it.
Listen. I know that it was a panic, it was an oversell.
Yeah.
But I give a ton of credit to Tom for doing that, for having the fucking balls to do that, because I absolutely wouldn't have to. Yeah. So because I was driving to go hiking with my girlfriend, and then I found out Adams. I was like, oh yeah, sick. I'm gonna walk this one, and then they're like, and then Alex texts me. He's like, he just traded for a scale. Like I was like, motherfucker, god damn it. So listen, props to you. But let's move on. We're taking way too long with this one. I'll do the next one because I said I'm going to do the next one. The Bins matchup of the week. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. The match between Al.
Oh, the Joe Mixon match.
And the Joe Mixon match and Juicy Swag. So just looking at Anthony's team, because I have Anthony's team up because I said it. Biggest surprise was probably maybe Derek Carr having 20
David
points.
David Moore.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
The fact that he starts David Moore and he goes off with a long touchdown.
Yeah. All right.
I can give you David Carr only because in a loss, looking at how that game was playing out, I think you wouldn't have thought Carr would have had that good of. They only had one goal. Well, not even garbage time. They cut the lead to 7 from 14.
I'm just going to stop you right there. It's 1,000% David Moore, and I just didn't see it. So moving on. Biggest disappointment.
I mean, nobody, because these guys are shitty. Darrell Williams, what did you expect?
He had to put Darrell Williams because Sony Michel got ruled out the day of, so Darrell Williams was the only other guy on his roster.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe even Curtis Samuel, because Curtis Samuel's somebody you expect to do something.
It's got to be Gio Bernard. He didn't play Latavius Murray and played Gio Bernard over him.
Yeah,
Latavius Murray had 21 points.
I guess I still either don't understand the logic for that. Like, I guess
he said he thought Mixon was sitting out.
Yeah, but that's something. But you got to pay. But like, you got to pay attention at noon. Yeah. Like, unless he was.
But even still, like, I still think Latavius Murray.
I think
Murray's been having a decent season, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to you, Al. Biggest disappointment, and I could go a lot of places here, but
my team was hurting, man.
I got to say Nick Mullins again. I think you expected better against Philly.
It's got to be Mullins to me too.
I would say Edelman. I really would.
I don't know. That was a tough matchup against Kansas City, especially without
Cam.
You knew Cam was out.
That's right. But also a game where you're expecting to throw the ball more too.
Yeah, but those guys suck. There's a I can't believe
still missing Michael Thomas.
I can't believe
I could say Tyler Higbee. I actually, you know what? I'm going to say Tyler Higbee too, because against a shitty Giants fucking linebacking core. Yeah. Titans have always killed them. I think that might be it.
Gerald Everett got the touchdown.
The issue. Yeah, I knew Edelman. I mean, I know Edelman's bad, but I can't watching that game. I can't believe we ever thought like Jared Stidham was going to be any. Oh yeah, watch Belichick's going to start Stidham over Cam. Wow, that's fucking laughable take now.
Yeah,
Edelman definitely was a little bit of a disappointment because it wasn't a big disappointment because he didn't do much last week, but in week 2 he had 179 receiving yards. So but that's with Cam. So
I agree. But biggest surprise, obviously, is your boy, my boy, Bruce's boy, Inogo Jojo, as I like to call him. I mean, fucking Joe Mixon dropping 44. Anytime you get a running back that has that much point share is ridiculously good, and it won you the week. So that's awesome. I mean, not a great week for you, but you know what though? Timing is everything.
For not having Ben Roethlisberger and Deontay Johnson, not having Michael Thomas. Hopkins and Mixon both being game time decisions, I'll take this win. I had to start Edelman, Mark Ingram, Nick Mullins.
It's like they used to say when I was in Nam. Take it and run. Anyway, next game.
Anyway,
who wants to?
I'll take this one.
Yeah, Bruce.
So
yeah.
Joey beats Kyle. So I want to start on Kyle's side because this was close, man. And I know I'm going to say just biggest disappointment, and I know it's been all year, is AJ Green. But man, if AJ Green has even a decent game, Kyle wins this matchup.
AJ Green has like a crazy target share too.
What also sucks is the Steelers game not happening, so he doesn't have James Conner.
Right, and that would have given him a win as well. But again,
massive
timing's everything.
Yeah, the massive hole that is Jalen Richard.
I think biggest surprise was, and I'm not surprised but CeeDee Lamb, and again another one of those weird Dallas where we're down by 1 million and now we're storming back because Jerry Jones doesn't believe that Jerry Jones just builds fantasy teams. But man, CeeDee Lamb, man, 25 points, and I feel like I called this during the offseason how I knew I didn't like Michael Gallup, and I know Gallup's been down a little bit, and CeeDee Lamb's been blowing up, man. I want to say I called this one. That's why I'm so down on him. But CeeDee Lamb, man, I'm not surprised, but biggest fantasy surprise for his week for sure.
I will also throw in there that disappointment for him is probably both the quarterbacks too, especially Goff against the Giants.
Yeah, that's true.
So, go to
So dog. Biggest disappointment. Well, I mean, Hamler got hurt. I guess Gesicki 2.5.
It's got to be Darrell Henderson for me.
Yeah,
I'm with that, especially
after what Darrell Henderson just
against
did.
the Giants.
I think without
run
Cam
defense
Akers
isn't the worst though.
Yeah, but without Cam Akers and then Malcolm Brown has like a messed up pinky or something still, so it's like
that's
the
true.
The fact that he couldn't do what he did last week after is what you were expecting kind of sucks.
Yeah,
and then I think I don't know, but I mean, we gonna say Mike Davis again. I mean, maybe Antonio Gibson with the breakout week.
Probably Antonio Gibson. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's just like super consistent play from Dog's team. Obviously, the injury and the tight end position are, you know what I mean, so. But I mean, it's just like when he play, it's just consistent. It's 20 points here, 20 points there. You know what I mean? Like he's got a great team, and I don't know how we didn't see it coming, but I guess we didn't. So
there's no big. It's like one of those like there's not like crazy big names. He just has like all these guys like beside like McCaffrey's not even here, but like what's this biggest guy like Russell Wilson?
At the time,
McLaurin,
Russell Wilson's having an MVP season.
Yeah,
Gardner Minshew we didn't expect to be this good. Antonio Gibson, nobody was expecting to be this good, right?
Because we thought it was Bryce Love like before.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that he loses Chris McCaffrey, Mike Davis is still doing this.
Best pickup of the year so far. But all right, Al, we'll go to the next one. We'll go to you.
You know what, Dennis? We only have a couple more minutes in this segment, so I'm just going to stop it here at the halfway point.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll take a quick commercial break.
In part 2.
Yeah, we'll take a quick.
I wish we had commercials.
Yeah,
I wish we had commercials
soon.
Waiting on you, Kyle.
This show is brought to you by Coors Light. The Dennis.
Two Robbers Seltzer, not a sponsor. Fuck Dick.
Still not an actual sponsor.
Before we close out part 1, I just want to also remind everyone that Anthony sucks. We'll be back.
Fuck Anthony.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed those commercials that didn't actually happen. Still waiting on you, Kyle.
Hashtag fuck dick.
Hashtag fuck dick. Use promo code fuck dick at the store. Hopefully you just saw a segue go across the screen because that was pretty awesome last time.
I didn't watch the episode, but I heard about that. That's pretty cool, actually.
Shout out to you, Luch. Appreciate the extra effort there. But hey, we're gonna pick it up here, and we're gonna go.
He was dead.
We're gonna go.
It's a different Luch.
All right.
Different Luch.
You scared me there for a second.
All right, Al, let's go to you here with a game, Phil versus Luch, who's not dead, is dead. Who knows?
Now, this was a big game for the two of these teams because they both were 1-2. So, winner of this game is Phil. Helps his season out. Lap being 2-2. That's huge. Lucha 1-3. I asked him how he feels about his dynasty team, and he sent like 3 gifts. Things like "not great, Bob." and the This Is Fine dog. So obviously things aren't going well for him. But in this game, biggest disappointment on Lucho's side. Man, there's one in particular.
Did he get hurt, Brandon Cooks?
No.
Or did he just
No,
not?
he ran like or
He ran more routes than any wide receiver on that team.
Yeah,
which is
he had 4 targets and no catches.
He had three guys crack 20, and then everyone else is like, oh my god, Miles Sanders disappointment. Like,
I mean, he had to start Lucho to start Greg Ward too. I mean, everyone's starting weird guys too, but he only had 1 QB because of Cam. He started Greg Ward, which like 8 points of Greg Ward, you can't.
I would say. I mean, I guess we keep referencing the Rams. I would say Robert Woods against the Giants, especially a wide receiver against the Giants. Cooper Kupp got the one big touchdown. Against
the Rams.
Them, and that was it.
The Rams are going to be like this all season, where it's like you don't know who's going to be the guy this week. It's going to rotate between Kupp and Woods and Higbee, and then
I feel like I feel like that reminds me of Seattle wide receivers a lot. Like the last couple of seasons, like
except
all these guys are good, right? They're all killing it. Like all these guys are good, but it was like Tyler Lockett was always so inconsistent, and that's happening with the Rams this year.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
For fantasy, obviously.
All right, let me keep going. Biggest surprise. I picked this last week, but Carson Wentz still getting 20 points. I like it. Despite he's been bad, he's getting points though.
That's his best game all year by far.
Yeah. I want to say Mike. I mean, not that Mike Evans having a good game is a surprise, but I feel like he left the game, came back. Like at one point,
there was no Chris Godwin.
Right.
Yeah. I don't really.
Yeah, but at one
point,
that
was a monster game by Brady too. I think he had 5 touchdowns. So
right. Yeah, and at one point I commented that when Evans went out, I said, "Oh, Brady's top guys are Scotty Miller and Justin Watson, a couple white dudes. It's just like he's back in New England again."
Is Justin Watson white?
Yes. No.
What
is he?
What else? So?
I don't think Watson is. I think the other guy is. There's another guy.
Don't forget Gronkowski because O.J. Howard tore his ACL.
Watson, hold on. Watson's on my team. Bear with me. We're going to find this out. Keep talking.
Biggest surprise on Phil's side's got to be Odell Beckham finally looking back to normal and better than back to normal.
Right. I feel like
Justin Watson is very white. I promise.
Okay.
He went to
I feel like given Quakers. I feel like I can't say that Dak Prescott is a surprise even at 40 points because this is just what like we already commented that the Cowboys are just
500 yards, man. It's a 5-point bonus for 500 yards.
But this is what it's going to be. Like it's going to be the Cowboys are going to have to put up 40 points just to win a game, and they still might not.
I've been thinking about this the past week or so. Dennis, how do you feel about trading Dak Prescott? I know it really was like the match to start a lot of your other moves, but I mean, watching him be the QB1 of the year has got to be kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crossed my mind, especially because I heard today he's on pace to break, I think, pass attempt record. I think he's on pace for like 800.
He's on pace for like 6,500 yards too.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, too, I don't regret it because my team is not where it is without that move because I don't have the draft capital I still have. I don't have Travis Kelce. I don't have the moves to make. So, yeah, it sucks. But you know what? Like I said, you got to trade away assets to get assets, which I think some people need to understand.
I don't know who you're talking about because it could be me.
No, not you.
It definitely could be me. The way I'm trying to.
No, not you guys.
But I mean, Mike, we were just in the finals, so you can't blame us for not wanting to trade away these pieces that brought us there last year.
That's true.
Yeah, I wasn't in the league.
Biggest disappointment on Phil's side, he actually had a couple players that didn't do much of anything, but I'm just going to do a full season disappointment. Kenyon Drake, man.
Yeah,
oh, my God. He looks bad.
Dude, I've been saying it forever. I was burned by him like 2 straight years.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to die on the Kenyon Drake is good hill a couple weeks ago. So.
I said I wanted to die on the he's actually good. Doesn't mean I want him back. There's a big difference. But
Chase Edmonds just looks better, man. They have Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds have almost exact. They're like within a couple points, fantasy points of each other, and Kenyon Drake has 2.5 times as many snaps.
Like, is this going to be like a Cliff Kingsbury thing where each year
he just switches?
He just rolls out a new running back and
probably
just to fuck
Chase
with
Edmonds will
people.
Chase Edmonds will just take over for the second half of this year. Then they'll draft a guy next year, but then they'll draft a guy the year after that.
It's also
I feel like he's doing the same.
Not to start him. It's also tough not to start Kenyon Drake, even though things like that.
And Phil just traded James Conner.
Yeah.
I wish you traded Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. But Yeah, Bruce. Good.
I feel like not. I mean, I don't want to say he's doing it with wide receivers, but outside of Hopkins, I feel like everyone thought Christian Kirk was the guy. Now is it Andy Isabella? I feel like we're doing it with the receivers now a little bit. But man, clearly.
Hopkins is what's killing Kenyon Drake. Because Kenyon Drake has, Kenyon Drake has 5 receptions on the year, which when we saw
how many targets, not a lot.
No, he's just barely being used in the passing game. Chase Edmonds has more, is being more used in the passing game, but it's mostly Hopkins. Hopkins just comes in and just steals. He's a target hog, and he's deservingly so. He's one of the best wide receivers.
They have very similar. I think they have very similar uses in the red zone too. Both those guys. I think it's very comparable. I'm not sure if it is or not, but yeah, that's a tough thing because you kind of have, like you said, even trading James Conner, you're gonna have to start him because I don't know. I'm not looking at the roster, but like who else you really could plug in and you say trade.
He's got the rookies. He's got DeAndre Swift. He's got K-Makers. It made sense why he traded a guy away.
Yeah.
But these guys aren't – I mean, DeAndre Swift is starting to put up some points, but these guys aren't really ready.
No, they're about a year away. But, yeah, all right, let's go to the next one. And last thing I'm going to say, yes, I would regret trading Dak Prescott more, but I have Kyler Murray, so it softens the blow. Just a smidge, obviously. So I'll do this next one. Phrasing comma.
No. Let Bruce do this one so you can do Bruce's matchup.
All right, go ahead, Bruce.
So so Nick again beats 170. Man, he 4-0.
You nervous, Bruce? I can see the sweat from here.
No, because Nick's team might be screwed for a little bit depending on how things play out. Because now he's going to be without Austin Eckler. He's probably without a quarterback this week unless he makes a trade, which isn't going to happen.
Garoppolo is practicing, I think.
Yeah, but does he play?
I think he does based on what we saw last week.
So all right, so Nick. So it's funny enough. The Skyler luck going to move over to Nick now?
But does he play?
I mean,
it's so good.
Nick has good players at least.
Yeah, Nick's team is really good.
I know, but I mean, biggest surprise for Nick. I mean, I guess I'm going to keep saying Will Fuller because I had him kind of dead and buried last year between the injuries.
I wanted him so bad this year.
Between the injuries and I think just inconsistent games, and especially the last 2 weeks, he's balled out. And
I'd say OJ Howard maybe.
Then he tore his Achilles.
He tore his Achilles, yeah.
He got 14 points out of a game that you lost to play for the rest of the year. So,
I mean,
Tyler Eckert.
I guess, does he have a disappointment? I mean, Golden Tate, but Golden Tate fucking sucks. He's a fucking bum.
I mean, it's probably Austin Eckler.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess I would say Tate, and I love how not to make it about like the Giants, but the Giants signed Golden Tate to change the locker room culture, and I think Golden Tate's been suspended, and now he fought Jalen Ramsey on the field.
Did he get? Oh, before. Well, man,
it's justified.
That suspension from before is so stupid, though.
He went to the NFL about that.
Yeah,
suspension.
He said he took a fertility.
He reported himself.
Reported himself because he found out later that it was on the.
No, I get it, but I get.
And given the circumstances of what happened, I'm very okay with Golden Tate doing what he did to Jalen Ramsey. I had no problem with it whatsoever.
Honestly, I didn't read the story, but if
Jalen Ramsey,
do you have a cliff notes?
Jalen Ramsey had 2 kids or something with Golden Tate's sister, and then they had a huge, horrible public breakup.
Okay, never mind.
And Ramsey left her while she was pregnant too. I think that was a part of it. But all right, move on. This isn't TMZ, or it might be. I don't think we are.
Skyler's team, big surprise. Tom Brady. We said he had a monster game, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's like the quarterback 8 or something on the year.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Disappointment, Zach Ertz, I guess, but
Zach Ertz. There's nobody else there. How is Zach Ertz not doing anything?
I don't know, but did Zach Ertz break a tackle?
He did. No, he did this week.
Just one tackle though. That's enough.
He broke it like a yard forward.
Could you maybe even say, and I know this is a stretch, but I'm going to say it. I think maybe like surprise is maybe James White with 12 points.
Nah.
No,
probably not. I feel like that's his ad.
Without Sony Michel, I guess.
Without Sony Michel, without Cam, so these guys are checking down.
Yeah.
All right.
James White's value goes up if like Cam stays out longer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, James White was like the best like floor guy for like the longest time.
And he was a running back one of these years, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think that was Super Bowl year.
Might be 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either, but Anything else with that? I think maybe even DK Metcalf like not having a monster game.
The
Like
Seahawks didn't have a monster game though.
There's talks now among the fans or dynasty people on Twitter that DK Metcalf could be the dynasty wide receiver 1 now.
really,
Based
Well,
on age and
but it
quarterback
changes
he's tied
daily.
to.
Well, it
Yeah,
used to be AJ Brown, and it probably used to be.
Yeah, but I mean, I take
Who's-
Russell over Ryan Tannehill all day, and
yeah. Whoa. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, how old is Russell Wilson? I don't know.
31.
yeah,
He's
that's
got.
he's got.
got a
There'll
lot
be
of
a
5 good years
decline,
at least.
but yeah,
They'll both, by the time Wilson's declining, is right when DK Metcalf is either at the end of his prime or.
Yeah.
No.
yeah. I mean, I would agree with him being 1. I really would. I think that's pretty spot on. But
Yeah.
all right, let's go to the next one. We'll go to the next one. Bruce, Big Papa Bruce, 182.6 seats to beat the Wreck Nick Ain, 120.34. So I'm gonna look at your team first because
I
I
mean-
forgot to mention this for week 3, but Alex texted me in the middle of that game with Sky, and he's like, "Oh, I might win this stupid game," and he's like, "Pissed about it," and then he did. So
Then I was having like my doubts because it was one of those like, oh, all these points, and then like everything Breeze was going to Traquan Smith. I'm like, oh, cool, it's gonna be one of these weeks, huh?
oh man.
Then,
The rich kid. I'm gonna say I'm gonna just all in unison. Let's all say it on 3. The biggest disappointment. 1,
for Bruce,
2, 3. Calvin Ridley.
for sure.
I'm glad we all
Dude,
followed
thank-
directions really well right there.
Thank God I didn't need that. 'Cause, like if I and like he was out there, it wasn't like he got hurt. Like I know Julio got hurt, but it was one of those where I didn't look at it before because I'm like, all right, I have the win. I'm just whatever. I'll leave Ridley in.
Matt
It is
Ryan
what
just
it is.
pretended that he wasn't on the field. He only passed to
He was wide open. I'm like,
Zachariah.
some of those.
Christian Blake and Zacchaeus. Yeah,
Yeah, what's his name? Zachariah, whatever the fuck his name is.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Zacharias. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah, Zacharias.
yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, I picked him up at like 5:30, and I was like, oh, I'll drop him after.
Yeah, because
Now I'm
I showed you my DraftKings lineup with him in, and then before
I
you
was
answer,
I was
before you
staring at
answer
him
me, I see you pick him up. I'm like, oh,
because I was staring at him, and then I'm like, oh yeah, click.
I took him out of DraftKings unfortunately because I thought with Julio playing.
But now I'm like, not so fast. I'm not going to drop him just yet.
yeah,
Biggest surprise is I know it's not a player that we should be, but coming
No,
off
but-
of an
but-
injury, George Kittle, 42.
Dude, I went to bed and I woke up like, wait, what?
Yeah.
At the end of the game, when Beathard came in, every single pass was just like a 10-yard pass to Kittle right in the middle of the
Dude,
field,
he's
over.
he's
and over.
so
You know,
good.
George
He can
Kittle's
box.
never had a multi-touchdown game in his career,
That's crazy.
Really?
and this he only had one for a 42
That's-
point game. He had 187 yards.
That's crazy. That is I didn't know that. All right. Let's go to the next squad. Alex's team. Biggest surprise.
Chris Carson, because you thought he had a concussion and then he came back from the dead.
Well, first you thought he had like
Yeah.
an MCL tear, then you thought he had a concussion. Comes back from the dead. Yeah,
I would say surprise is probably more or less Traquan Smith though. 21 points for a guy
Sure.
like that. Yeah, I'm because he's just more of like a third, fourth option on that team if Michael Thomas.
Well,
is
I
there.
mean, not last week.
well, Michael Thomas. was there.
right. Obviously not last week, but I'm saying normal circumstances.
I mean,
but-
normally you would have thought he was behind Thomas, Kamara, Cook, and Emmanuel Sanders, but he's
I
ahead
would
of Sanders. He's ahead of Cook too. It looks like.
Yeah. Biggest disappointment is got to be Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett at 5.9. And, I think this is the Seahawks actually having a down-to-earth game.
Well, it's because they
the
threw to
first time.
David Moore.
That's true.
That's normally a Tyler Lockett long
surprise.
touchdown, not David.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's definitely happy with the result. So, even maybe CEH not having a super great game. I feel like I don't know what he's hovering around points wise, but after that first,
Yeah, did he get? I think he got hyped up after week 1, and now he's like, oh, it's a rookie
16
back.
is his average, which is fine.
Yeah.
We're starting to see that I think he's a floor play. I don't think he's that good. It's just he's on the Chiefs. That's
agree.
awesome.
I think if he's on like Jacksonville or something,
Yeah,
if he
I don't
ends
thi- I
up
think
there,
he's
I
that
think he'd
good.
suck.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
That good.
I think that's a really good point.
I think it was very telling in week 1 where he have 6 carries at the goal line and he could not score.
He still can't score. There's
Right.
one touchdown of the year, and it was that long week 1.
Yep.
He juked the guy, and then it was like a 20-something yard touchdown.
All right, so we'll end it there. Some pretty crazy games, some not so crazy games, and some games that were just fun. So once again, I'll just run down the standings again in case you forgot, you fell asleep, you tuned
It's
in
part
late.
2. You might have not listened to part 1 for whatever.
I don't necessarily know how you
Even though
just
this gets
tuned in.
spliced together.
Even though you've tuned in halfway through this YouTube video, maybe you're like, I'm going to get right to the meat of it, and just went there. So here we go. Once again, Nick 4-0, Joey 4-0, Bruce 3-1, D-Train 3-1, Al 2-2, Thom 2-2, Phil 2-2, Lucho 2-2, Peanut 1-3, Kyle 2-2, Skylar 0-4, and piece of shit Anthony 0-4. All right, so
and
now
hold on for clarification. The bottom 6 is on the projected points, correct?
Potential points.
Potential.
Which for anyone that might not know, because I was talking to Alex and he was a little unsure that that's how it went, it sounded like, even though this is how it went last year too. For anyone that doesn't know, it takes every single player on your roster and puts in your optimal lineup you could have done. And that's how your potential points are calculated for the week. So it's not like if you win the week, it's not how many points you're scoring. It's literally your entire lineup. And I like that way. It's not perfect. There's no perfect way to really determine.
there's no way to tank.
Best and worst team, but it keeps you from tanking unless you trade guys away. So,
Or you just decide you want to.
and I think it rewards the teams that have nothing. So like, sure, okay, maybe your team is really deep and that's hurting you, and you don't have good starters, so it would help to have better picks. But your team's still really deep. You still have the most value on your team. So it's it's giving the first pick to the team that has no value.
I do agree with that actually.
But- and like I said,
shitty
it's-
Anthony.
It's not perfect, but it's as close as we can get, in my opinion.
No, it's not. It's not minusing points for quarterback meals, but hey,
But it also makes up. It makes up for a team like Kyle, who I think's had a weaker schedule, where he's 2-2. Where if the schedule plays out different, he could be 0-4.
Yeah. So no, this is the perfect thing. So Kyle, if
just
he
as much
misses
as
the
fuck
playoffs,
Dick Anthony.
Kyle, if he missed the playoffs, even though if he had his own pick, he would have the third pick right now.
Right.
He's still right on the cusp of making the playoffs. That's good for him.
Right.
Meanwhile, Phil, I think, has the third most potential points in the league, and he's not in a playoff spot right now.
Right.
If he listens to this, he's going to be disappointed. I'm sure he already knows, but this is what happened last year. He had tons of potential points, and he's just starting the wrong guys. But last year, I don't know if it's the same this year. I haven't looked, but last year is because he had a bunch of boom bust guys on his roster. You get guys like John Ross, Marquise Brown on his team that just one week would do amazing, another week wouldn't do amazing. So that ups your potential points. But like I said, those guys are valuable, even if they're on your bench.
All right,
Makes
so
sense. All right.
I think we all agree that that's really fair. I actually really like that. We'll do trades now. We'll do some trades.
A little quiet, but there's been a couple good ones.
A little quiet. I think everybody's a little
yeah.
nervous now.
For sure.
Let me just ask before we do the trades, any rumors that are floating around? Does anybody know?
Yeah, sure. I've tried to trade with pretty much every single person in the entire league over the past 2 weeks, and I can't get anything done. So
Yeah.
I don't need to.
I'll just say maybe I'm overvaluing certain guys, but I feel like I'm not in a big position to just make a trade. So a lot of my guys, I'm gonna need an overpay. Is where I stand. Like I know I've been negotiating with a little bit. That's kind of where I'm at. Just to
I'm not going to yell at you for
Listen,
not getting rid of your
Listen,
plays.
Bruce, you can do what you want, but you're a
What?
bitch. Anyway, moving.
There it is.
moving on.
Hold on. Nobody calls me that. Nobody calls me that. I will trade you.
Anyway, hey, do you want Josh Jacobs for nothing? Yeah, for sure. Anyway, yeah, I guess with me,
Who's your best player, Zeke? I'll give you a third.
All right. Well, I got called a bitch, so I got to do it.
He's a little old. He's a little old, for a running back.
Oh yeah, 25,
25?
whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, I tried to get a big wide receiver for some people, different Daniel Jones, but nobody wants to do anything right now.
He's like you said, people are
totally.
hesitant.
It's like I said to you guys. I think everybody in the offseason has an idea of what their team might be and what their team could be, and now you're realizing
I'm gonna
my
just
team is.
Not that I want to talk about the games getting postponed and stuff, but with all the news that came out today, I'm a little hesitant to make trades like today.
I was for about 2 hours, and then I changed my mind. I was right back to where I was because
Yeah, I think that I just think right now it's become well, my team's not doing so great, so I only have these picks, or I only have these good players, or my team's doing really well, and I don't
maybe
give a
that's
shit.
why I don't feel the same way, because my best 2 picks aren't even my teams. You know,
Right.
I have Anthony's second, which is far and away going to be the 13th pick this year because no one's even close to.
If
being-
you have a first round pick this year, that changes the outlook on how you look at things completely.
tried to-
It's a flying child!
He's definitely not being held. That's dangerous.
Wow, your kid has superpowers. That's insane. I literally can't believe that. I'm
He
utterly
sneaks up.
Bring him on out.
Oh God!
Oh, I was able to do it.
Oh, hey! There's your lawyer, Al.
Oh yeah, that's 1-0 in his case.
He's up to a great start.
There's the guy that ruined your life, Dennis.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, I think if you have a first round pick, I think that if you do or you don't, especially this year, I think that makes you have more flexibility this year. Like I still have a first round pick out of one of the few teams that is like, I guess, in a good-ish team. So
I
it
think
makes
you and
me
Tom.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
We're done.
it makes
Get
me
him
look
outta
at
here.
things
Okay.
a little different.
Crying baby. Can't have that.
Well-
See you later, Rocco.
Lisa, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Enjoy your wedges.
I will say, when I got that first round pick from Skyler for Tyrod Taylor, which is the luckiest thing of all time for me, because Tyrod Taylor, I can't believe that. But
He was stabbed.
yeah, it's just unbelievable. But I was originally trying to get my own pick from this year because I wanted the flexibility to be able, like, I could sell guys off and have my own pick if I wanted. But not having my own pick this year, I don't even have my own pick next year. I have yours, Dennis. So it's still the same way where it's like, I don't think I can afford to just like go into even like a retool where I don't have my own pick. So me doing poorly does nothing for me.
Right.
I mean, I have my own
I
second
think-
next year, but whatever.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. I feel like we're in the same boat of maybe you can sell one guy and you're not necessarily
Yeah.
like wrecking your
Sure.
team to rebuild, but like for me, like I'm trading one
You
guy
have
for
more
a couple
depth than I
picks.
do, so that's the problem. I can't really sell a guy. I don't have a guy on my roster to really replace anybody except a tight end right now.
I will also
Right.
say this, and this is dragging a bit, but
Yeah,
I will say this. I think right now the teams that were willing to sell have kind of sold everything that is easy to get. Per
Oh, yeah.
se.
Yeah.
I think now, like for instance, with Anthony, with the Derek Carr does nothing for Anthony. Actually, we talked to him, but like unless he gets a massive overpayment, he doesn't have to move him. He doesn't have to. You know what I mean? It's completely different.
Right. It's that weird like Derek Carr's value versus that's not a guy like whatever. I offered 2 seconds and I think like Alex Madison and I got turned down. So it's like I'm not going to throw stuff at him for a guy who is he like what's his status going to be going forward.
Right.
I think that's the spot we're at.
That's more or less, I think, for him. And I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's anything special. But he's a quarterback in a super flex league on a team. He's somebody that is gettable. But, like, for now, Anthony doesn't have to move him. There's
Right.
no – you know what I mean? Like, it's – and if he wants to keep him and if he doesn't get the Lawrence pick or whatever, then he goes, okay, well, I have Watson and Carr for next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to do it. There aren't, like – I think the thing is – and I wish Al was here to hear this, but – I think the teams have pretty much been who's buying and who's selling right now. I think is pretty much done. I really do.
Yeah, like I think Alex
Unless
Hochberg
it's-
is done selling.
Unless it's out of desperation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think right now at this point where like everything is still so up in the air, I think it's going to take a massive overpay for things like that. But
Agreed.
now that
Dennis, back
Right.
to your point too. Before I walked away, I just wanted to say, the teams that knew they kind of weren't going to be in contention pretty much sold what they have. There's still a few players left on
right.
a couple teams, but it's more now waiting to see what teams are going to find out they're not making the playoffs. So it's going to be
Right,
a lot
yeah.
closer deadline day. Like if my team's not making the playoffs, I'm getting rid of guys like David Johnson. I'm getting rid of guys like I'm
Yeah.
already kind of getting rid of Mark Ingram, but I'm getting rid of Edelman and
Yeah.
Even one of Ben Roethlisberger.
I think we're at this crux in the season right now, and I kind of said it when you were away. Was I think it's things are so up in the air, and I think that the teams that were obvious sellers don't want to bury themselves for no reason other than like I have a guy. I'll just use him as an example. Like I have a DK Metcalf, but like I'm not going to.
There's no reason to trade it.
There's no reason to trade
right, exactly. Like it's an asset that you have, but like you're probably worse off unless you get like a really good deal coming back the other way like that. You know what I mean? But
or you could be like my team and just literally not have enough to trade with anybody.
Yeah, all right. So let's go trades. Let's go actual trades, not trade that could have happened or didn't happen or happened in our head.
Talk about the third one first, just because that's gonna be a quick one since we already spoke on it.
Yeah. So the first, the third, whatever. Who's on second? Anyway, Shitty Anthony trades Marquise Valdez-Scantling to Thom for Devin Asiasi. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Sick. And Lucho.
Did you take Spanish in high school?
Third round pick? I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you took Italian.
Parliamo Italiano. Yeah.
Is Asiasi? That's like so in Spanish.
In Italian, così.
Gotcha.
But it's in Italian, Spanish. It's all the same with the vowels and the
Latin.
Yeah. This we talked about this trade a little bit. Like I said, once again, I got to give Thom. It's an overpay. It's a panic trade, but you know what? I give the guy a ton of credit. He had the balls to do that because I absolutely wouldn't fucking have the.
It's not a lot.
No, it's not something that's going to bury you.
Right, like a third. I mean, and Lucho's third, so mid third at worst.
It could be early this year. He's 1-3. I mean,
true, but we're so
and
tied
2021. I think seconds and thirds are more valuable, just with the limited college scheduling.
True.
And a deep draft, quote unquote, deep draft.
Yeah, it might not have as much high end talent.
True.
It still has good high end talent, but it might not have as much high end talent as last year. But I think it's even deeper than last year.
All right, so let's go with this one because I think this one is interesting, but not as big as the next one. Phil trades James Conner.
Jamers Conner, by the way.
Jamers Conner. Kool-Aid Jamers.
That sounds. You're saying that it just sounds like the Chambers of Commerce.
But James O'Connors for a Kyle 2022 first round pick, and I think that might be Kyle's last pick he has.
He has a fourth.
He has a fourth in 2022. Dennis, by the way, we're getting some scratchy feedback from your mic on your shaved beard.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. My apologies because of my dynamic. I will stop. I will promise. This is interesting because I think Connors was at the time a player I think we thought was Connor. Oh, what am I thinking? Sarah Connors. Anyway, it's still Sarah Connor, even in the Terminator. It's whatever.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of James Connors from the fullback for the Giants. Actually, I don't even think that's right either. I'm just.
You just said James Connors, like I.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Never mind. What was I going to say? Was it? Oh, it was. I don't fucking know. Who cares? But I think this trade is interesting because I think Kyle just said, you know what, fuck it. Let me try to get some wins. You know, that first round pick for him could have been huge. And I think what we were saying last time with him was that maybe now that those picks we had from Kyle won't be worth as much as we thought because now he has a more of a team that's probably going to steal a couple games.
Yeah, a team that's good enough to squeak into the playoffs possibly. But
all right, so let me ask because I think this is perfect to do it this way. I'll go to you, Al. Do you like the trade? Who do you think wins the trade?
I like the trade better for Kyle, to be honest. 2022 picks, I'm always going to get rid of those guys if I have to.
Right.
Or those picks if I have to. It's so far away.
Yeah.
It's a year and a half. It goes back to this trade I've been trying to make with half the league where I'm trying to trade Anthony's second round pick plus maybe like something on top. I even offered 2 second, my Anthony's 21 second, which is going to be the 13th pick, and a 22 second for a 22 first. I'm like, in a vacuum, that's such a good trade for for whoever's getting the 2021 second from Anthony.
It is, but it's just that, like you said, that one
just,
and that
it has
is such
one.
a weird, yeah.
There's a number 1 next to it.
Yeah,
I know. I think I can, but I can. Even if it's the 13th pick, I understand the hesitation of potentially trading away. Like it depends on who you're talking to. If someone is if you're talking to a non-playoff team and they're trading their own pick and it's a top 6,
Sure, I didn't
be
ask
hesitant.
those teams though. To be honest,
So then, if it's even going from, you
it's
look
just
at
it's
this,
so far
you look
away.
I know it's like
When you look at
draft.
rankings of prospects, like you look at Devi rankings, which ranks the top or all 3 classes that are all coming in. 2021 by far is all in the top because not only is this a good class, but just getting the guys a year in advance and getting points on your team, it's just the value you're getting is so much better than waiting a year for guys to come into the league. It's just,
I think for me, I think I like this trade for Phil more or less, just because yes, you get the first round pick back, but James Conner is somebody that I don't love. He's good for now, but
I would have rather
future,
traded Kenyon Drake. I don't know.
Right.
He's
All right.
He's going to be a free agent. I don't know if Pittsburgh keeps him.
I don't think they do.
And I think Pittsburgh.
I don't think that means.
I think they like McFarland a lot. I know.
I think they're
Snell's
going to
there.
draft somebody. To be honest,
That's true too.
They didn't really have the picks this year because they traded for Minka Fitzpatrick.
That's right.
Yes, they did.
So I think they, but I don't think that means Connor's done. Like, I think Kenyon Drake could be done. Like, if he doesn't get re-signed, I think James Conner will.
I think Phil getting James Robinson makes this trade, and James Robinson hitting makes this trade happen because
having both the young guys too is definitely
right because one of them's going to hit. I don't think both of them become busts. I think
Swift will. I think Swift will personally.
I just think Akers is in a more crowded place. Whereas
I just didn't really
Detroit
like Akers to begin with.
Yeah, I don't like Akers either.
Whereas
let's go to this next one, just because I don't know how we're doing on time, but let's go.
7 minutes.
So we have 7 minutes, and all we're gonna cover in that is this trade. So you can take your time.
Yeah, that's fine. So this trade is super interesting to me, and I think initially I hated this move for Kyle.
Initially, I loved it,
but now I think Kyle is a clear winner here, and I
love this immediately.
So Kyle trades Laviska Shenault for T. Higgins, David Njoku, and Mohamed Sanu, who just got let go yesterday.
Yeah, but whatever.
Doesn't matter. I am not a Njoku guy. I think maybe if he goes to another team, he's got another. I didn't like him coming out. I didn't like him when he was with the Browns.
That's fine.
I'm not a fan.
I wasn't even considering Njoku in this trade, to be honest. He's just bonus.
I think initially I overvalued Laviska Shenault. I think the underrated aspect here, and I'll go to Bruce when I'm done here, the pairing here of T. Higgins and him having Burrow. And I think T. Higgins
and AJ Green most likely not being on the team next year.
Correct. And I think that was a great move. I think it's a good move for both sides. But I think for Kyle especially in the position that he's in, I think this is a great deal. Bruce, did you like the trade? And who do you think won it?
So I like it. I want to it's not even a disagreement with trades and just players in general. I take out, like, I don't think Kyle having Burrow has I'm sure it influences his trade.
I didn't even mean stacking on Kyle's team. I just meant Higgins having Burrow.
No, right. All right. That makes work. But like for me, I don't care who's on the roster. I have to look at what the trade is. And I was trying to trade for the Tom pick where he took T. Higgins. And nothing, we never even talked. I think it never got past can we trade? Because I was looking at Higgins, and then I kind of didn't give it a thought to trade for him. I like Shenault as well. I think the ceiling's way lower. I think if he's going to be that gadget player, and if you look at the Dynasty subreddit, people are already talking about Shenault taking the number 1 receiver from Chark, which I don't think that's happening. I think Shenault can be a weapon, but not
possible.
I don't know. I mean, not to say Chark will be number 1 receiver for years to come. That could obviously change, but I don't see Shenault as this. I think T. Higgins has better future value than Shenault. Shenault's a good player. He might be great in that roster, especially he can jump around to all these different positions: slot receiver, out receiver, running back, lineup, tight end.
I do
like T. Higgins
though. I do worry though about players who do that weird kind of jump around to a bunch of positions. Like he was lining up at running back and like tight end and like
Yeah, but I think it works more now in today's NFL. Like you look at Deebo Samuel and now Ayuk is kind of the same thing for them. But it didn't work as much before with like Percy Harvin. But if Percy Harvin was playing today, you know how good Percy Harvin would be.
yeah, but at that same sentence though, like in that same breath, the thing that worries me is if that happens, does he then become more of a not like a distraction, but like a decoy? You know what I mean? Like, well, he's in the backfield instead of him just lining up at wide receiver.
No, I think that's good. The fact that he can move all around. He's just a matchup nightmare in that aspect.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I don't know.
Personally,
I like both these guys a lot. By the way,
Yeah.
they're two
both
completely
good.
different players.
Yeah.
I had the reason why I like it for Kyle so much is because I had Higgins ahead of Chenault. I think Chenault is one of the most talented receivers in this class. I just still am worried he can't stay healthy. He just had a soft tissue issue, but
Yeah. I think you take out Sanu and Njoku for me. I think
Yeah.
I would have accepted Higgins for
I mean,
Chenault straight up.
Njoku's. I don't care about. I don't obviously.
Him just getting a tight end though was like
Njoku's nice.
Yeah.
Njoku can
Right.
pan out to be something.
Although
Yeah.
Antonio, with the Browns, who knows? Because like
His
Bryant's
limited
been
time-
decent and
the limited time
Yeah.
he's been in this year, he's looked good. So,
right.
but I just, I had Higgins higher than Chenault coming into the draft in 4 games. Isn't going to change that for me. Chenault is in such a solid spot too in Cincinnati with Burrow.
Higgins.
Higgins, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. All right, so let's cut that off there, and then we'll come into the latter portion of this. Still doing pretty well on time, only at 80 minutes now, which is not too bad. So I think we'll be able to get through this under
120 under 2 hours.
I hope so.
If for 2 weeks, that's good.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be fantastic. So, hey, listen, we'll see you on the other side of whatever creature is going to be coming across, and Bruce is going to hit. Bruce is going to hit the button,
Bruce?
and yeah, Bruce hit the button. See if I care.
Hashtag
Hit the
not a
button.
sponsor.
End it.
Hey, do you have a link?
Yo, you better send me that link now.
Dennis, you better not be
shit.
late this time.
I'm gonna be late.
Oh shit.
Hit
Yes,
the button, Bruce.
Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag fuck dick.
Okay. Oh God, I'm glad you guys didn't hear what we were just talking about. Anyway, so
Fluids.
we moved past the trades. Nobody else has got anything there. So, hey, thanks for sticking around through another break. Appreciate Lucho doing whatever he did as a
Appreciate all the fans, man.
We appreciate all the fans, especially Thom. Shout out to that guy who actually said he missed
Hey man.
the podcast.
Cheers.
It's unfortunate. I want to just shout out our number 1 fan of the week, Dog. So, Tom, yeah, maybe
Shout out to everyone listening. Cheers.
Dog had the fan mail, so he wins the fan of the
True.
week.
If you
And you know what?
send
That's
us-
fan of 2 weeks because he sent 2 fan mail.
if you send fan mail this week, I will personally say thank you to you. Anyway, moving on to the notable waivers. It says here, I'm going to have to ask for details at a certain point.
Our show sheet's a little different, but it's more that normally I put a lot more info on
Right.
Waivers. If you need more info, I have it.
I'm completely fine, though, with this concise. So I'm just going to start it off right off the bat.
Look it up yourself, guys.
Big spender. Skyler paid $5 for Justin Jackson, and honestly,
Actually like that.
Last week, such a good move.
It was, and I think I put like $2 in for him, or I pulled it. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember, but good pickup. Looks even better now because
Yeah, it goes out multiple weeks.
Kelly got
Dennis.
benched. Yeah,
You pulled it.
Yeah, I pulled it. So Kelly actually got benched, I think, fumbling. So I think maybe it might be Justin Jackson's time to get a little burn. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But anyway, I
Definitely
think-
started Justin Jackson in a big time fantasy matchup in the past. So this isn't his first go around.
Too bad
So-
Anthony dropped him.
So let's go with this because I faked you guys
Shitty
out.
Anthony.
Piece of shit, Anthony.
Sorry, had
Piece
to
of
throw
shit,
that in
Anthony. Faked you guys
Upholding my
out this
promise.
one. Tim Patrick, I think a guy people were interested in. I put a bid in 20 bones.
Anthony put in 20,
Kyle.
Anthony put in 28. Alex put in 23.
Damn.
I put in 17.
But none of those mattered because Kyle said, fuck it, take
Joey-
me to the ATM and put $85 on Tim Patrick,
Joey put 7.
who we don't know if is Irish or not. We don't know that.
Irish.
He's Irish, so we're gonna move past it. Now, I like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time, but I have to ask, and I'm gonna ask Al: is this worth it, or was this just a fuck it? I need somebody.
It's kind of both to me. I get $85 is a lot, but I just said maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was texting Tom when we were talking about Phil getting James Robinson for $25, and I was saying that we all have to stop being pussies with our bids. So you know what? Kyle hasn't really spent money. He drops $85. He gets a wide receiver that's going to be starting for the Broncos for the rest of the year. Say what you will about the Broncos, but they will have Drew Lock back. And Kyle kind of needs a wide receiver with A.J. Green not doing anything. So, I still think 85 is a lot. Clearly, he could have got him for 30. So, but you don't know that when you're making these bids.
If you like your guy, go get him.
But props to him for having the balls to drop $85.
It's a good pickup.
And listen. I know a lot of Dynasty is evaluating rosters and trying to predict. Well, this guy's going to do this, or he's going to be, this on the depth chart in a year or two. But listen, the reality is, our free agent money, it doesn't roll over. And how many guys? Right, but for this year, the money doesn't roll over. So if you have $120 sitting in there on, at week 16, when we're done with this, that money's gone.
Yep,
it doesn't matter.
Happened to a lot of people last year too.
Right,
can't take it with you. And
so,
I think
Bruce, I think
that's
you
a fair
were
assessment.
really the only ones that didn't have money because I spent mine early and then you spent yours all late on those.
I was able to get a couple. Yeah, I was able to get a couple guys later on because I saved it. Yeah,
Special teams player of the week.
Right, but it's one of those. Oh, yeah, fuck Mike Boone. But yeah, man. Listen, $85, and listen, if Tim Patrick plays his ass off for the rest of the year because he's going to start by default, the Broncos are. Listen, in the NFL, if you're good enough and you're cheap enough, they're going to find a way to use you.
Yep.
And in a league where we roster 28
I'm also
players,
going to say Tim Patrick himself. I like him. He was on my team last year, and then I dropped him. Joey had him for the rest of the year, pretty much.
he had 100.
He's a good player.
And you're talking, and he's not on the field with bums. He's on the field with Jerry Jeudy. He's on the field.
He took over for Courtland Sutton. He's basically like a clone of Courtland Sutton.
But he's still on the field with these top draft picks and a lot of guys that are more talented than him and higher on the depth chart than him. And he's still putting up numbers.
Yeah, like Deshaun Hamilton, right, Anthony?
I think personally though that any type of guy, and I think I saw it when Ripon, is that Ripon? When you can throw a one-on-one jump ball up to him and he can come down with it and he could just one-on-one.
Yeah, you really ripped that throw in there. Really ripping it down the field.
My man, appreciate you coming through with that.
Like,
but yeah,
he's cousins with Canadian Rippons. So
honestly, listen, we can't say if it's an overpay or not because
it doesn't look.
We don't know.
I'll say that him overbidding by $60 for him is still better than me bidding against myself for. I can't even remember the fucking Jacksonville running back. That's how irrelevant he is.
Divine Ozigbo.
Yeah, sure. Me bidding against 16 for him. I think I would have rather paid $6.
I mean, I paid $10 for Blake Bortles than dropped him before.
Right, but it is what it
is. All right. Let's not bog down too long on that. But here's another big one. I actually don't know if there was other bids on this. I know I bid on.
You did, Dennis. You bid 31 on this one. I also bid 17 on this one. Anthony bid 11. Alex Hochberg bid 3. Joey bid 2.
So Thom paid $45 for Dearness Johnson. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And he also put $5 on Isaiah Ford, which is actually, I think, a sneaky good
That was
pickup.
last week.
Last week. It's still a sneaky good pickup.
Yep. Looks like Preston Williams is just nothing. So
I think Dearness
Isaiah
Johnson
Ford is getting more snaps.
I think Dearness Johnson is going to be a good pickup for the short term, for the next month or so.
Floor guy.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, just the way the Browns operate, he's going to get points. And
he'll get 10 or 11. He'll get 10 or 11 carries.
With me having Chubb, I really want him. I actually put 31. I thought that actually would have got him. But hey, listen, Thom, I think has a bunch of injuries. For you, you got the balls to do it. I'm cool with that. Moving past that, I'll stay with my. You guys can comment on it just because it's my pickups. I paid $20 for Jeff Smith. Did anybody else bid on him, or is that just me?
You bid against yourself.
That's fine. I'm fine. I really wanted him,
Jeff
to be
Smith.
honest. Fuck Jeff Smith. I picked up Jordan Akins.
I like that pickup.
And I picked up Robert Tanya.
Yeah, that's the better.
That's a good
pickup.
one. Yeah.
It's a good for no money for both of those guys.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys talk about both of those if you want.
I think I think not. I'm not going to say he's going to be overrated after this week, Robert Tanyan, but 3 touchdowns, 90 whatever. I just think that
Without
was a lack
Lazard
of
and Adams,
right. I think that was a result of just no one else is there.
And Aaron Jones was out for like half this game for whatever reason. I was
Yeah.
wondering I thought he was hurt for a while, and then all of a sudden I just saw him back in, and it's like, all right, I guess he's not.
Well, that's called the Packers fucking hate.
Yeah, but he
good
like
players.
didn't even see the field for like the whole second quarter. I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
No, because we've had this discussion before about good players. But anyway, I think listen, for free, it's a good pickup. Clearly, I've been banking on Jay Sternberger, and I was wrong with him. I guess
Yep.
wrong.
And I
about-
banked
lot
on
of people were
Josiah,
wrong with that.
and I picked up Josiah because I was banking on that too, and that he's not even playing
Yeah.
tight end.
He just
for
tore his
them.
ACL too.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
I mean, listen, anytime you can pick up a guy, especially free agent pickup, is in this league is fucking money.
yeah.
So good pickup.
I think that honestly, just I'll leave it at this. I think the way he's playing, I think that Rodgers clearly likes throwing to him, and I mean, it's if they can have a decent tight end because they haven't had a really good one there for like
Yeah, I
consistent
mean,
one.
Mercedes Lewis got hurt too, so we'll see what happens when people come back from injury if he's still a thing. But
Right, we'll see.
looked
But his
good.
opportunity for no money, I'm
good.
fine with it. And honestly, I know
Absolutely.
I bet against myself with Jeff Smith, but honestly, he looked like he was the number one wide receiver in that offense. So if I get anything out of him, so be it.
Not
If
this week.
I'm at $20. So be it. It is what it is. So all right, we'll go to the next one. Al got Brett Rippin, said it right
Last
that
week.
time, last week for $30. And this week got back his boy Josh Reynolds for 13.
Juicy Swag legend, aka Shitty Anthony legend, Josh Reynolds. Yeah, $13. Which looking at this, I just saw this now. I saw Tom bid $10 on Josh Reynolds, so I love this bid actually.
I actually was thinking about getting him for weeks, and I just was like, never
I
did.
just need I dropped him. I forget when I dropped him, but I dropped him because of, and I wasn't happy I was dropping him, but it looked like Van Jefferson took over that spot, but now it looks like Reynolds took it back, the wide receiver 3 spot, which again, it's the Rams. You're not going to be able to trust them, but I need another depth.
It's a
wide
good
receiver.
stash.
When I was looking at last week, I might not even have any wide receivers because if Hopkins didn't play or if the Patriots game didn't happen with Edelman, I literally wouldn't have had wide receivers and would have had to go and pick up guys on waivers. I just need a guy like this back until at least some of my guys get healthy.
Not mad about it. And then the Rippin deal is clearly just like
You need
I need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know?
And what is actually nice about this is the Broncos came out and said that if Drew Lock doesn't play, then Rippin's starting again. So
Right.
There you go.
So I at first thought that he just wasn't gonna, and they were gonna go with Bortles, but it sounds like Rippin they're still gonna give him chances. They like what they see. So I'll hold on to this guy as a backup until
Right.
Lock is
Except
healthy.
you're not going to throw 3 picks and lose and win.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That only happens against the Jets.
He's an undrafted guy.
Hope so.
He's gotta build off something.
All right.
He'll never be more than a backup in the league, but gotta hope
Yeah.
for him.
And then
So
Yeah,
Alex,
I was gonna say I really like Alex Hochberg's pickup because he killed it against the Browns. Cedric Wilson.
Cedric Wilson, $7. I don't know much about him.
He had a good game, and I think it was worth a flyer, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean for $7, who cares?
If Dak is throwing 500 yards,
Yeah, someone's
it's
got
gonna
to
it's gonna get
it's
spread
gonna be
around.
spread around. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Doge picked up Joe Flacco for no money. I thought someone had him. I guess I didn't check.
I think Tom did, and he dropped him.
Phil did at 1.2 because I had him last year.
Hey, if anything, that's just because I think the Haskins benching today. I think that may only be like a week thing. Who knows? I don't
Darnold's
know.
hurt. So
Yeah, Darnold's
Yeah.
hurt too.
That's why Flacco's starting. I just threw it on here. It's Superflex League quarterback picked up for no money. He's starting this week.
No, it's a great
something.
pickup.
I think any
He's not
starting
going in Doug's
quarterback gets
lineup.
rostered. I
He's not going to
rostered
Doug's lineup over Minshew and Russ.
I rostered that awful Detroit quarterback at the end of last season. So
yeah, I've
any
had
starting,
plenty of guys.
Any starting quarterback. I can't even tell you his name. That's how
I just had Blake Bortles, and he wasn't even starting. So I paid too
Yeah.
much for him.
It's more of a block than anything half the
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and then Phil picked up the Demiri Bird.
Amir.
He also, I noticed he picked up from the Chargers Jalen Guyton, who had a decent game.
I saw that was late, and I didn't put it on the.
Yeah. So he had a nice game on Sunday. So just another
Hey,
random
could
note.
be
Without Mike
something.
Williams there, yeah.
He dropped
Anytime
Riley
you-
Ridley, by the way.
Anytime you pick
No.
Anytime you
been
get like
traded.
a flyer like that for no money, so be it. It is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he looked decent this last game. That's why I threw down there. So
All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
All right. So we're
This
gonna
was-
go.
my new segment I put in last minute.
I like this. This is cool. I would like it more if any of my guys were here, but they're not.
I
So-
almost put some on, but they're like almost expected to be there, so that's why I didn't put them on there.
That's fine, I guess. I don't know.
Like Kelsey, I almost threw Kelsey on here.
That's fine. So quarter season fantasy MVPs. I'll read them off, and I'll give you guys the go, and you'll talk about them real quick, and then we'll.
Go position by
Question.
position. And let us talk.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll keep this real quick, just because I think this is interesting. Let's go. Quarterback QB1.
Hold on. Can I stop you for a quick sec? Is this more like good value guys versus like
It's more
a
what
mix
is-
of all that?
What is helping your team most, as opposed to guys that what you were expecting? Sure, some of them you might have been expecting it, but
Okay,
it's either
I
they were
gotcha.
far and away scoring a lot of points, or they're so like you weren't expecting to help
Unexpected.
them. They're what is like
Okay.
like helping your team a lot.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go. All right. QB1.
Quarter
QB1
season
average.
fantasy MVPs. I don't know if you mentioned that. Just to,
Yes, I did. Dak Prescott on Phil's team, and QB2 Russell Wilson on Dog's team. Now,
Makes
like you said before, traded Dak away. Obviously, it's a regret, but you know what? Had to do it. Had to break some eggs to make an omelet or any type of food that involved eggs. What is it about? I'll go with Al this year. What do you think this year has made Dak? I think it's probably obvious, so special and so valuable.
I think there's two things. One of them is the Cowboys defense is just awful.
Yeah.
And two is just his weapons are amazing on offense. So it's just a combination. And he's in a contract year, so he's trying to get paid right now.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy also sucks, and then it's like, oh shit.
I think it's
in the-
mostly
in
the
the,
defense.
in the fourth quarter. He's like, oh man, we gotta. All right,
They're
throw
just
it.
always coming back. So
All right, so then we'll go Wilson with Bruce here. What do you think this year specifically has made Wilson so good?
I honestly don't think it's anything different. He's been doing this his whole career. I think maybe Pete Carroll was like, all right, fuck it, man.
they're
Do-
letting him throw.
Just do you. What's that? Let Russ cook bullshit.
Yeah.
So
They're letting
I
him
mean,
throw.
Right. So
Opposed
which
to
as they
Von
should, he's their
Yeah.
best. He's their best player. Like you let your best player play. I feel like we have this argument texting all the time about these coaches that hold back their best players for whatever the reason, whether it's to keep them fresh. But shit
Mhm.
like this, it just seems so like a no-brainer. Like Russell Wilson's this good, just let him do his thing, and look what's happening. MVP caliber season.
I agree. All right, so running back, RB1, Alvin Kamara on Nick's team.
He's
And
on
then-
there, even though you're expecting
I mean-
to be good. He's on there because he's just
I think he's exceeding what you expect.
there's a
Right.
large gap between him. and,
Yeah. And then
Large
RB6 is James Robinson from Phil's team. So I'll take this one myself. Alvin Kamara, like you said, by a long margin, has been the best, and I think it's because of Bree's lack of arm strength, and I just think
and Michael Thomas
I
not
was
being
gonna
there.
say-
and Michael Thomas
out.
being out as well, yes. But I think also Breeze being kind of limited as he is a big component of that. James Robinson is a no-brainer. I mean, like you said, guy picked up on waivers for $25, which could be probably the move of the year. And I think that just goes to show you like how valuable anybody who's like basically getting 80% of the workload can be. And I mean, is
Yeah,
James
'cause
Robinson like
I don't think he's anything special. He's solid.
no, is
for
he
sure.
that much more talented than like half the backs in this league? No, I would say
Yeah.
probably not. But
No, but
it's opportunity. It's
And
opportunity.
He's,
more than
You
it's
have to
anything.
look at-
opportunity, and he's doing the job correctly.
You have to look at
Right.
value. I picked up Raheem Mostert for free last year, and I was able to package him to get Derrick Henry with something. Julio,
Well, I mean, Raheem
that's a guy-
Mostert's actually the running back 4 by average right now. So.
Right. And granted, he's
I
hurt,
almost
but,
put him on the list, but he got hurt. So
right. But it's one of those where
And he's on- I didn't-
if you get a guy for nothing, and then you can whether he plays or you flip it to improve your team, like that's a guy you didn't have, and then for free, more or
I
less,
also didn't
you can
put
improve
guys on this list. If there could be guys that are having a really good season, but if they're on one of the teams that aren't competing, I didn't put them on.
Right.
The list.
Or by default, like look at Phil gets James Robinson, that allows him to flip James Conner. He has an extra first round pick now, which again, if you're good, flip the first for another asset. It's like a domino effect when you get a guy like that. So good on Phil.
All right, so then we'll go keep moving. Wide receiver 4, Stephon Diggs on Bruce's team, and wide receiver 17, CeeDee Lamb. All right, Bruce, I'll let you talk about Stephon Diggs yourself.
I'm the fact that before the draft, I was trying to flip him to get an extra first, and nobody would bite on him. And now I'm thrilled that no one did because I think was he traded before the draft, right?
Yeah.
So all right. So you knew he was already in Buffalo. I think you underestimated the jump Josh Allen would make. I think maybe you thought Diggs would. But Diggs has looked awesome. I think the only bad game was he had Jalen Ramsey shadowing him the whole game. That's the only down game I think he's had in the 4. But I'm happy nobody bit and just traded a first for him because I think he's worth more than that now. And he's just worth me holding because I'm starting him every week when I didn't think I would going into the season.
Right. So then I'll go Al with you, CeeDee Lamb.
I think it's just I've said this all the time is that when you're drafting wide receivers in draft, you can't expect them to do anything for you their rookie year. Sure, there's guys that do stuff for you their rookie year, but you just can never expect it. So you can't be like, well, I'm drafting like Dennis. This isn't really against you, but you draft Justin Jefferson. You need Justin Jefferson to do something for you, which is nice. That was probably the guy to pick if you wanted someone to do something for you immediately. Right. But I always do it. Like I draft Rager. Sure, he's gotten hurt, but I wasn't expecting him to get in my lineup this entire year. So the fact that Kyle trades so much to make sure he gets that second pick, which looks great now because he's traded his first next year. We were all bashing him because we're like, that's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Look at it now. It's not going to be Trevor Lawrence most likely.
Might be. Maybe it's Jamar Chase, but CeeDee Lamb is
or
fine.
Justin Fields or something. Yeah. But dude, I'd take CeeDee Lamb over all those guys right now, and he's really made a big difference on Kyle's team. The fact did
he get drafted into the right situation, or you think he'd be good anywhere?
He'd be good anywhere. He's just that good. He was my wide receiver one, and I'm sure most people's, but he was my one. And then I had Rager, and then Judy, and then Jefferson as my order.
Makes sense.
I'm hoping, and I'm just a little aside, I hope Jefferson makes this list at the halfway point. We'll see.
He could.
Tight end, I'll do the tight end. Tight end number 4, Noah Fant, and tight end number 8, Jonnu Smith. Sorry. Noah Fant, I really liked Noah Fant going into this year. I think he's got that big body. Any Iowa tight end, I'm like super huge fan on at that point. He's got a big body, and then like you said, at the time has had young inexperienced quarterbacks who love checking down to the tight end at any point. I just think he's also like a matchup nightmare too because he's such an athletic, big body type of guy. And then Jonnu Smith is the same thing. Guy I knew nothing about coming into the year.
He's been hyped up for a little while.
Good,
hasn't been used because Delaney Walker was there for forever. And
especially to him being that
with Mariota
good.
In Tennessee, just the whole offense sucked.
Him also being in an offense where like the ball can be spread around a lot between guys like, Corey Davis, Brown, Derrick Henry getting his shit, and then even a guy like Adam Humphries getting, and guys like that. So he's been nothing.
Yeah, I think Jonnu Smith, I thought he was good for a year. And then I feel like going into redraft this year, he was like tight end in the 20s. And he's way, I think in redraft, he was going like late rounds.
He's tight end 8. He's tight end 8, but that's because Tennessee didn't play last week. He was the tight end 3 on average this year.
Oh, wow.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Actually, unfortunately, I really hope the Titans have to forfeit this week. Sorry to anyone that has Bills and Titans, but just for the Titans being a horrible organization, I hope they have to forfeit.
Please, God, don't make me start Daniel Jones again. Anyway, all right. So we'll move past that. That was a better
matchup, at least.
That was pretty cool. I'd actually really like that again. Maybe not quarter season, half season, which is just another quarter added on. So bye weeks this week: Green Bay and Detroit. Maybe more big for a team like Green Bay. I mean, Detroit, yes,
that sucks
you get your
for
players.
It's more big for Nick if Garoppolo does not play.
Yes,
correct. No quarterback.
So you're looking at guys like Rodgers, Jones, Scantling again, Adams if he would have been healthy to play.
Aaron Jones out, Hawkinson out.
Detroit,
Galladay, Stafford, Swift if he was going to play. So I mean, those are
decent.
Some big names. I mean, especially on the Green Bay side, but. There's also the uncertainty of who's going to play, what's going to happen.
Whatever.
I don't want this to become the fucking pandemic podcast. So
Me neither.
We're just going to assume it's going to happen.
And with my predictions, I'm assuming that everyone's going to have all their players that normally would be in. So.
We'll see what happens. So, all right. So we'll go to predictions, and let's just quick at a glance. We'll go first matchup because it's in this order. Phil, who's 2-2.
Hey, you didn't mention what this game is.
This is the Not Stupid Podcast Game of the Week. I just thought that was the header. I didn't even.
No. This is the game that I've done.
This is the Game of the Week. So Phil, who's 2-2, who has a better team than 2-2, versus Nick, who's 4-0, who has some injury questions and concerns here. So I will go. I'm just going to say at a glance, I'm going to say Phil. I'm going to say Phil this week.
I'm also saying
and
Phil.
I don't think it's going to be close.
I'm also saying Phil because Nick having the injuries, Nick not having Rodgers, might not have a QB at all. Even if he does have Garoppolo, like how effective is he going to be
Right
away? Yeah, I'm going to pick Phil as well, man. Phil's team is surging right now. He scored over 150 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I definitely. I gotta say, I'll say Phil as well. I just think we've said it forever. I think Nick has not a lot of depth, so Eckler
Nick
being out
needs to
really
make moves
hurts him.
with the draft picks, but he will not. So
Exactly.
Nick, listen, like you said, if Nick's team was in the hands of anybody who had any drive whatsoever, they'd probably be by far and away the best team in this league. But I digress. All right, so we'll go to the next one. We'll go Al versus Dog, who also could be another, this could be the Not Stupid Podcast Game of the Week. If you wanted to make it,
I gave it to the other one because Phil's team is surging. And
all right, I'll let you kick it off. What do you think?
Personally, I don't feel good going into this game. I would love if Michael Thomas plays because he might. That would make a huge difference for my team. Also, Dog not having Galladay is pretty big, but I don't feel good against the Mike Davis running back or whatever else, even Gibson now, especially with Kyle Allen at QB checking down to him. I even think Terry McLaurin might be better with Kyle Allen than Dwayne Haskins. So, my team, it's okay right now.
Right.
I wish I wasn't playing Dog. So I'm just gut feeling. I think I'm going to lose. I'm going to give it to Dog.
All right, Bruce, you.
I mean, it's hard to bet against a 4-0 team if he's going to have a relatively, healthy roster. If he's not going to have anything affecting it. Like I said, Michael Thomas, a big deal. I mean, fuck, man, it's tough this week. I got to say Dog as well.
I'm going to turn this on its head. I'm going to say Al, just because I think Al's due for a little bit of luck here.
Right.
Couldn't tell you exactly where it's from, but at the same time, if anybody's had some of the worst luck in this league, it's Al. I think he's due for it. So I'm going to go with you, Al. I mean, it doesn't change our prediction, but I'm going to go with you. All right, so we'll go to the next one. Kyle at 2-2 versus Tom at 2.
Versus Tom's decimated team. Oh my God!
This is
7 or 8 of his starters.
This is interesting. I think right away let's go, Bruce. What do you think before? We'll just talk it through your head.
I mean, it's one of those where you go on paper, you go, oh yeah, Tom, but you look at Kyle's roster and. Okay, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, they're both there. Kareem Hunt now with Chubb out. Does Kareem Hunt get 25 touches? He has James Conner now, a solid running back too. You've seen, does he go wide receiver? T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Parker. I mean, does he throw Tim Patrick in there because he's been playing good? He's got 4 solid receivers. Tight end, I know Jonnu Smith, but if the Titans don't play again, he still has Jimmy Graham, who's somehow resurrecting his career in Chicago. This is tougher than you think. It could be Kyle if Tom's got all these injuries and all these question marks and he's making panic trades for shitty wide receivers and throwing all this money at backup running backs to fill a roster spot. It might be. This might be Kyle.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really close, but I'm going to go with my gut. I think Kyle's going to win this one too.
All right. Well, you're both wrong. I just think that Thom's top-end talent players are Ken.
Lamar Jackson didn't practice today.
They said it wasn't anything serious, though.
Yeah. No Adams. Godwin still has the hamstring.
But just
no fans out.
Just having a guy like Dalvin Cook, though, I just think he's –
Sure.
I personally
think Kareem Hunt is just as good as Dalvin Cook if Kareem Hunt with no Nick Chubb.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to say Thom.
It's going to be close either way, I think.
I'm going to say Thom also too because I think the quarterback situation is better. So
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Listen, it's my opinion. Goddamn. I don't know.
It probably is. I don't expect Matt Ryan to be as bad as he was last week. Especially.
Oh, man.
They've
All
got
right.
an easier schedule coming up. The Carolina defense is awful. So
All right, so we'll go to the next one, which is me and Luch. I'm 3-1. Luch is 1-3, and I'm gonna let you guys take it because I don't really know a lot about Luch's team. I'll be honest. I probably
I'm gonna say right now that Dennis, you're gonna win because Luch's team is without. I mean, the Titans game. I'm assuming it happens, but even against the Bills, Derrick Henry is not as good there. His QB situation, he's definitely not going to have Cam.
Yep.
So again, I mean, technically there's a long shot that Cam clears in time because he's been asymptomatic.
I doubt it.
Well, the timeline would have him clear on Saturday.
Oh, so he'd
Because
play.
he needs, if he has no symptoms, it's 5 days of consecutive negative, or 5 days with no symptoms. If he gets two consecutive negative tests, he can play. If he had no symptoms, it's 10 days if he had symptoms. So it's possible, and I also wouldn't put it past the Patriots to be like, oh yeah, their tests were negative, but who knows? Dennis, the way your team is right now, and with Justin Jefferson emerging, I think that you're going to win this one, and Lucho's bad luck is going to continue.
Bruce.
Yeah,
So,
I think.
producer Lucho.
Yeah, the schedule just does him no favors. I think. Like it's just bad luck all around. Yeah, I think Dennis takes this one too. Just again, the talent right away. Like even I know you said, oh, you don't have even if you have to start Daniel Jones, like you still have Kyler Murray. Like he's still good.
I take that trade off. If you can't start Tannehill, he can't start Derrick Henry.
That's
right.
true.
No.
That's true.
That's
I would
fine,
take that
but
trade off all day.
like I said, not to this become the pandemic podcast, but if the Chiefs don't play, that's huge.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
So that's I don't know, man. I'm gonna say just because I'm this type of guy, I'm fucking dick. I'm gonna just say it's Lucho just because he had awful luck last week with the 0
He's had bad
points.
luck all season. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you said
so-
I might have had the most bad luck. I think his
Yeah.
might be.
So I think if he's gonna get a turnaround, it could be this week. So
What's
say
funny
him.
is, Dennis, I know you weren't in the league last year, but Lucho also had a really rough start to begin last year. He ended up trading pieces away because he was thinking he's going to go into or at least a retool.
I know
rebuild.
Cam's
And then all of a sudden his team turns it around because Miles Sanders steps it up and Devin Singletary steps it up. And then he goes on to make the semifinals and loses to me by 1 point. So it's
Yeah, I mean,
Can
I
always
just
turn
look at
around.
his team up and down, and like I like the guys there. I mean, especially like the way Evans has been playing. If Godwin's still out, like there's definitely room there. And then Robert Woods is not going to lay an egg like he did last time too, and his tight end situation is really good. So I'm going to say
Mark
he
Andrews has
I'm
had
going
a
to say
couple
he
bad
turns it
games.
around this week, but I hope, no offense, I hope he doesn't. So all right,
Doesn't
we'll go to
change our consensus. We
It
still
doesn't
have-
change the consensus. Now Skyler versus Bruce.
I should have just filled this one in before I even
Yeah.
snapped the.
I don't even think this is. I'm just going to say.
I'm just gonna comment again. If certain games don't happen, I'm without Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Josh Jacobs, and I have 12 wide receivers on my roster, and 7 of them currently have the questionable tag next to them.
That was like me last week.
And if certain games don't happen, my starting running backs become Elliott and Alex Madison, and it's just there's question marks. That I'll leave it at that. But on paper, I'm fully healthy. Yes, I believe I should win, but
I hear what you're
have
saying.
my
but
own
it's gonna be-
questions.
Yeah, no, I think that once again that's up in the air, but I think everything, if it goes to plans, I think it'll be
Right.
okay. So the biggest game of the week presented by Fournette and Anthony Lascauzo Jr. Shitty Anthony versus Alex at 1.
Alex wins.
Alex wins. Okay.
All right, we're going with that. You don't think there's any chance that
Alex wins.
Alex
All
wins.
right.
Despite his best efforts, Alex wins.
Alex wins.
His best. Okay, hold on. So I have right here. We only have a couple minutes left, or we have 7 minutes. We can fit this in here. Dennis,
Yeah.
if you reload your doc, you should be able to see the.
It's doing it live right
Okay,
now.
perfect. So you can go. Do you want to go through the post week 5 standings based on our predictions?
Based on the majority rule here, these standings, because like we said, these are law. is Doug will be 5-0, Bruce will be 4-1, Nick will be 4-1, I'll be 4-1, Phil will be 3-2, Kyle 3-2, Al 2-3, Thom 2-3, Alex 2-3, Luch 1-4, Skylar 0-5, and Anthony 0-5.
And actually, Lucho would be ahead of Hochberg based on potential points, most likely,
Right.
but I don't normally go by that.
Right. And like I said, those are law. So we'll just move on to week 6. All right. So with what time we have left,
Let's go through the next segment.
quarter season finals prediction.
I want to get your predictions at this point.
Okay. So for playoff, I'll let you take this one because I feel like you have a better idea of what.
Sure. So week 14, based on our predictions after this week, we're gonna have matchups of Kyle versus Nick and Phil versus Dennis. Based on how things are going, I'm gonna have to pick Nick in that one, and so this is the bigger one, you versus Phil, Dennis.
I think Phil.
A lot can
really
happen.
do.
I think by the time we hit the playoffs, Phil's gonna have at least one of those rookie running backs being in his roster.
It's possible. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know who to pick, so I'm gonna let Bruce see if he has a pick on that one first.
I mean, it's definitely tough. I think Phil has. It's just tough because I know like Dak. If Dak continues this pace, I think I give Phil the edge at quarterback. Again, if how long is Nick Chubb out? He's not the season, right?
6 weeks about.
6 weeks.
All right, so Nick Chubb, assuming
He'll be
he's
back by the playoffs. Yeah.
All right, so assuming
I will
back,
say this though, if to plug in somebody, Jerick McKinnon is not like a bad plug in.
While Mostert's out.
I don't know. I think if everyone's
But
healthy
even
by
he's
playoff time,
still
it's not that
Well, by playoff
his
time,
points,
no.
with Mostert there, his points are still pretty much even.
I think
Right.
Dennis is meaning more while Chubb is out.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But if we're talking about week 14,
Yeah.
then
assume if he's
I would almost. I think because I've liked what Gordon's done so far in Denver, but honestly, I think, man, that's fucking tough. Yeah, Chubb and I think Taylor comes along better. Running backs could be even, but I think Dennis has the edge. Wide receiver, if Beckham keeps blowing up, but Jefferson
I would say
might blow
Phil is
up.
the edge there, but Dennis
think
has the
so.
tight end edge.
Yeah, for sure. It's fucking close, but
It's
I don't
close.
know. I think
that would be a good matchup.
yeah, I don't know, maybe Dennis by like 5 points, but like this is so tough. Like who the hell knows who's on the rosters at week 14?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Phil there. I really do, just because his team is trending upwards.
Dennis, I think I like your team just by a hair too. So we're gonna pick you there.
Appreciate that.
Mike, what did you think about Kyle and Nick, by the way, just to get quick thoughts there?
I mean Nick's the better team. I think it
Nick's
would be
a
a nice it would be a nice underdog story for Kyle to sneak into the playoffs, but I don't think he would get it done. I think Nick's just too talented.
I would say maybe Kyle could pull that off, depending on like what the injuries.
He would
are,
need
but
if
if everything goes
week.
correctly, I would say in Nick. I think that's pretty obvious.
Because I think like Kyle's roster is
Especially-
good, but there's so many wild card like boom bust, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Nick.
So Bruce versus Nick.
That means, week 15, we have Bruce versus Nick and Dog versus Dennis.
Oh man.
I've hated all year. I've hated my playoff matchups, and it just doesn't get better. So
Bruce, I know you lost him already this year, but I think like 7 out of 10
too.
times or 8 out of
I
10
do too.
times you'd be beating him. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bruce there too.
I'll take it.
Next one. What is it? Me versus Dog.
yeah, I think this would be another
Go ahead.
close one. It's tough.
Honestly, I think I could win that.
Yeah,
I really
think so
do.
too.
I also think so.
I think I could, but who knows? Like you said, because when he gets McCaffrey back, like who knows? Like it's.
But will Mike Davis eat any of McCaffrey's touches, showing how good he's been?
The
No,
answer is no.
You don't think so? All right.
I know for a fact that it's not.
yeah, it's not.
Listen,
sure.
we've seen
Sure,
coaches
me.
do dumber shit.
It's McCaffrey, and he's
It's
getting
McCaffrey. He's
ton
the
of
best
money.
player in the league right now.
That's
For running back.
Kamara.
Come on now, give me a break.
I mean, McCaffrey for sure is a better running back. Kamara might be the better weapon
All right, fair.
right now. Even I know McCaffrey's hurt, but even with the two healthy, Kamara is just playing out of his mind.
All right, fair. So then week 16, I guess, me versus Bruce. I'm just going to go Bruce because
Me
just
too.
'cause,
All right.
yeah.
At this rate, and
And
Congrats,
you want-
Bruce.
You want
Again,
just
It's
You
like,
want to
okay,
Venmo me now?
yes, you're the
Sure.
yes, you're the favorite, but again, like you lost to Nick. The right week can do
Right.
anyone can beat anybody with the right week. So
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
All right, so that was kind of cool. It probably won't at all be like that.
No.
We'll see. I will say, I think personally, I think if this is whatever, I just honestly, I know because he listens too. I think Phil's team is going to be Phil and Thom's team are both two teams when healthy, a force to be reckoned with. So I would watch out for those guys. I think they've had some bad luck.
Yeah.
But that's once again, that's just football in general. But
it's yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a couple things I want to talk about. Unfortunately, we have a minute, so I think I don't want to rush it. So let's just go.
We'll do one more.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
We'll be right back.
all right, I
We'll
guess
take a
we'll
quick
just
commercial
do
break
another
For a
one.
couple minutes.
hashtag fuck dick.
Oh, we're back. You guys are still here. Oh my god. Anyway,
Somehow.
let's keep going. Al,
Wait. What? We're
you
coming
said
to
you
me?
had. Yeah, you said you had some things you wanted to talk about. That's
Oh
it.
no! I
Okay,
just meant
so
the stuff on the sheet. I wanted to make sure we didn't rush through.
Oh
So-
yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, I'll do that then. So there's
By the way,
gonna be
you're anonymous duck.
on the thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that was my nickname in high school. So as you know. All right. So there's gonna be in the future a guest. We don't know when
But it
He
will be
or-
our next guest.
he or
Yes.
she is coming on. It's a he.
Or she.
It's a he. Kyle, easily one of the best podcasts.
Everybody's rival.
Everybody's rival, the luchador fuck dick fuck himself, is going to be on, and I couldn't be happier about it.
He might also have a new rivals ranking for us to debut
God.
on the show,
Oh
which
my
I know that's
God.
everyone's favorite segment is the
It's
Rivalry.
I'm a fan.
rankings.
I'm a fan. So let's
Only if his internet freezes.
ravioli. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think this week has been crazy with all the crap going on with just life itself. So let's just hope that the NFL figures it the fuck out, because let's be honest, in the grand scheme of things, fantasy football ain't shit. I mean, it obviously it's important. And It's fun. Yeah, unlike Bruce, who it's the only thing he cares about. But it is. I really hope things kind of sort themselves out. But
Yeah, me too. Especially because, like, I don't know. It's nice to be able to watch football. Just in
Yeah.
general. Like,
Yeah,
we weren't
it's-
sure if we were
it's-
going to get it at all.
It's the one distraction right now because we're going to watch baseball. Am I right? Not me. Anyway, so anybody have anything else at all that they want to talk about?
I mean,
I think this
I'm
stunned silence
excited.
probably means no.
I'm excited for the Kyle episode. It's been a long time coming.
wanna-
There's a lot of things in the works with Kyle. I guess we'll say that.
This isn't a confirmed guest, but my plan was after the Kyle episode, we're going to get Tom back on, and he'll have a new power ranking.
Oh yeah, I love
We need that.
Ranking.
Couple,
We need that.
maybe 2-3 weeks from now, we can get Tom on and
Yeah, for sure.
get the new power rankings. 'Cause that'd be cool.
All right. So, all right, from here, I'm just going to say my closing statements. And first of all, I'm going to say thank you to the two of you guys once again for giving me something to look forward to on a Wednesday night. Shout out to Lucho behind the scenes, who's going to edit this podcast
Once again,
and not have anything to fucking do with it. And shout out to his moms. Hope she's doing okay, feeling better. Also, and Al, big thank you to you again for doing the sheet, because otherwise we would just be still probably talking about me and Tom
we'd be about
Patrick.
halfway through the show.
Oh yeah, this would have been a four
Yeah.
hour.
So let me just go to
Yeah,
We'd still be,
yeah.
I got to go to the right page. Hold on
Yeah.
a second.
We'd still be talking about Tim Patrick.
Hold on. Where's the page again? We did that
Hey,
even with the sheet. So
Even in all fairness, I'm pretty idiotic when it comes to technology. But
hey, you know what? I actually do have something else before we completely.
yeah,
close.
let's go.
Is chili considered a soup?
Wow.
No, I'd say no.
Are you sure?
Positive,
Why is it not a soup? It's like the same.
because it's not in broth.
Okay.
But like then is broccoli cheddar a soup?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, fuck. But isn't that? But that's a broth though.
No, it's
It's
fucking
just
melted
a
cheese
broth.
with broccoli thrown in.
Oh fuck.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. What am I, some fucking Notre Dame
Also,
here?
what's your favorite restaurant? Dennis?
Oh, okay. No, fuck this. Yeah, I like this. I'm about it. Favorite restaurant?
yeah.
Like chain restaurant?
Any restaurant, your favorite place to go to eat.
Oh, it's Shotzi's, man. It's not even close, dude. It's
All right. So let me go really quick to iloveshotsies.com. We'll give them a free shout out, not a sponsor.
shout out to Jeremy.
I think everyone that listens to this podcast knows of it, though. So it's not like, see, where can I find the menu of Shotsies? Is that
I'm almost positive that
not?
I'm almost positive that it's soup. They have, I think the only thing that comes in a bowl.
Oh, wait,
there is-
soup and salad. Oh, they don't have chili on it, though. There's no chili.
Well,
in
then
Shotsies.
here, there's a better way to do this. You have to look at some bullshit chain restaurant that might have chili, like Chili's. Does Chili's have chili?
Probably not. I bet you they don't.
Now I gotta look at that.
Okay, but this is like similar to the. Is honestly a better question.
What
Is
what is the name of the place?
cereal soup?
It's not.
Really?
It's milk.
Really? Yeah, but still, it's your.
It's not
eating
even
it
Are you
as a
putting
bowl.
chicken
The
broth on your
consistency's
cereal?
Not even right.
Okay, but cheddar and broccoli doesn't have fucking
That's the consistency. Is the
milk
same.
in it. I guess it does technically if you think about it.
What's the place in Wappingers that used to be Quiet Man? What is that called again?
County Fair.
County
County
Fair.
Fair. Yeah.
They definitely have chili.
Yes, they do. I know for sure because I've gotten it.
But I bet you it's more of like an appetizer. I bet, like on most menus.
So I'm just gonna say this: the Chili's menu, their menu option says bowl of soup, and then a separate option is bowl of chili.
Right? See, I'm right
You're right.
here.
It isn't an appetizer. Homemade chili on here.
Told you.
Because chili's versatile. You can put it on top of nachos. You can put it like in like something like I don't know, depending on where you go.
It's
you can
not
see it.
necessarily in a bowl. Like you don't necessarily like you're not going to put broccoli cheddar on top of chips. You can put chili.
Well, hold on.
Okay, well you're fucking stupid if you do that.
I didn't say
you
I
know what,
want to.
Panera?
I'm just saying.
I
I went to
could.
Panera. Chili is under the soups section.
Okay, but Panera's fucking hospital food.
I
overpriced.
like the turkey chili.
I did just
Oh,
have bacon turkey Bravo tonight. So
Ooh, that's what I always get when I get a sandwich.
Oh, you guys, come on!
Except I don't get Gouda cheese. I get white cheddar instead.
You don't get Gouda. Oh my god.
oh boy.
Oh my god.
I'm not a fan of the Gouda.
Oh, can I? Speaking of this, can I say I was driving? I was like right outside the neighborhood. I found a political candidate I can get behind. The sign on someone's lawn just said Marsala.
There was one when we were driving in Ulster County that said Kyle for Congress, and I almost stopped and grabbed it for Kyle, which I didn't do. But all right, I'm gonna end this. You know what? Too, I actually like this, so we're gonna do a segment.
We saw
So
the
we
Capone
really- we're saying-
sign in Dutchess County on our way to Anthony's
I
one
remember
time.
that. I
So
remember that.
chili, you're really saying chili's not a soup?
I'm gonna say chili's not a soup. I'm gonna
I
say it's a
think it
separate
is.
thing. I'm gonna say it's like a separate thing.
All right, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. I
I-
fucking hate this argument. It's not. It's a hot dog. It's a whole separate thing.
What's the definition of a sandwich?
See here. I was a no.
Not a thing on a long.
I'm still
run
a
like
no,
that.
by the way, but
I would say it was no, but by like strict definition, I would say yes. Because because you can get like sausage and peppers, and that's basically the same thing, and that's a sandwich. Think about that.
I don't know. It's just
Who's got a
like certain
dial-up?
thing.
Who's got a dial-up connection going in the background?
I know I hear that too. Who knows?
I don't know.
Could be my.
Just so
it
you
could be
know,
my
I pulled up
computer
the
hitting.
definition of a soup. It's a liquid food, especially with meat, fish, or vegetable stock as a base, and often containing pieces of solid food.
Okay,
Or
but
something having or suggesting
chili
consistency-
doesn't have a stock though. Chili's just meat.
It says or vegetable stock as base. It says a liquid food, especially with meat.
yeah, but chili's is tomato based.
I don't know.
Listen, I just think it's something completely separate because
Oh, wait, tomato's a vegetable, isn't it? Or is it a fruit? No,
Fruit.
this is another question. Is a tomato a vegetable or a fruit?
Is chili a fruit?
Is chili healthy for you? Find out next.
I
episode.
love chili so much.
It kind of is.
I had chili.
Shout out
I had
to
chili
Tom.
tonight.
Shout out to Tom for making chili last time I was over there, by the way.
Oh,
Too,
yeah.
so,
Tom's-
and homemade
Tom's
chili's the
chili.
best.
Did
I know.
Anthony cook it? Nope.
No. My mom
Yeah, we-
makes really good homemade chili as well, and I've been meaning to get the
Shout out
recipe
to
for it,
Shout out to Mama Mouse's chili. I had that tonight
Mm.
actually.
so. Nice.
We
nice.
make
Ate
our own
way too
chicken
much
chili
of it,
now?
but it was so good.
Next time, send me a leftover.
There was none.
Oh,
there was that.
so by the way, I just want to also mention the last definition of soup: an
Oh, no.
unfortunate predicament. That stunt landed her in the soup.
Right.
Is the example?
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. I've never heard that.
All right. So you know what? We're gonna end this on the last. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. We're gonna say our goodbyes, but this is gonna be my segment because I'm gonna steal Alex's thunder. At the end of every podcast, I'm gonna ask a food question to you guys. I'm gonna be interested here. You're at an ice cream truck. What are you getting? Go.
Toasted almond bar.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, you're saying like you're an ice cream truck. They're pretty limited.
It's you're gonna die tomorrow. You go. The ice cream truck pulls it outside your house.
Truck?
I don't want the
like
bullshit
ice cream
sponge. I don't want the bullshit SpongeBob.
But they got the
bar. Those
ice.
suck.
The ice. They have like the ices and stuff too.
Yeah, no, like toasted almond bar.
Yeah.
Just based on my knowledge of ice cream truck items.
Yeah, I'm a big. Why can't I think of the name? I'm a big fan of that like chocolate.
Chocolate.
bar
The
thing.
chipwich,
No, the bar though.
like the chocolate eclair bar.
Chocolate eclair.
Yeah, chocolate eclair bar. Yeah.
And then the other one is like the strawberry shortcake one.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
well.
solid.
Those are
I don't know.
good.
I just also am not a big fan of the ice cream truck. I'd rather.
I
go
agree.
to-
Right.
I
No,
just
but that's what I'm
said
saying.
this.
That's the question. That's the question. So me, Chipwich, a million times out of a million. Huge fan.
I love chipwiches though.
They're good, yeah.
Fantastic.
Ooh,
Fantastic.
you know what? Choco Taco.
I've never the biggest
Overrated.
fan. Yeah,
Overrated.
me too.
Agreed.
Overrated.
So, I agree.
Overrated.
That's why I had to throw it out there, though. That's the only other thing I could think of. That's at an ice cream truck.
I mean, the '90s wrestling pops were really good too. But,
They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're brought them back.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Really?
They don't have the cookie. I think.
Yeah, that was it. That was the cookie.
Mhm.
So, all right. So let's end it there. Big fan of that. We all know what we like for ice cream. So if you're ever around, just buy us some Chipwiches.
I'll always have a chipwich. Whenever it could be the middle of fucking winter, and
It's the best.
Yeah.
So do I want
Yeah.
cookies or do I want ice cream or do I want a fucking
weather-
sandwich?
the weather
It's
is
a
not a-
Chipwiches sandwich. It's a Chipwiches sandwich.
so no, because it's ice cream on the middle.
Yeah, but what's the definition of it? It's fine. No, don't look it up because I don't care. my neighbor upstairs is like, why is he screaming about
An
it?
item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling. Oh, fuck. Between
The
them.
weather.
As a
The weather
light-
also doesn't matter to me. I get iced coffee in the fucking dead of winter. So
Is a chipwich a light meal? Because that's what it says. Sandwich has to be.
Calorie wise, no. No, not at all.
It's a heavy meal.
It's 2 cookies and ice cream. It's as unlight as it can be. But,
Man,
all right,
I really
let's-
want a chipwich now.
All right, let's end it there. Once
Yeah.
again, if you made it this far, comment below your favorite ice cream. If you didn't
that
make it this
proves
far,
that. You know what? I love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that proves who the listeners are. Who's the
Comment this-
hardcore.
comment this if you,
You might
Your-
get on that weekly fan,
and we
Yeah.
we'll share
my
that.
fan of the
So
week, whatever.
This might have #1 fan implications.
this might have #1 fan implications, and look forward to Nick's response. Anyway,
Let's close it out. Let's close
Let's close it out. Once again, thank you guys for both being here. Luch, thank you for sitting through this, even though you weren't here and editing it. Al, thank you once again for the show sheet. Thank you to my mustache for still being here once again. And hey,
Thank you to Joey.
thank you to Joey for
Weekly
being
fan
the
of the
fan
week.
mail, fan of the week, fan of my #1 heart. Big fan, love that guy. And honestly, just thanks anybody who listened. We appreciate it. And sorry we missed a week, but hey, listen, you get
There's
burned
still
out.
one bullet point, by the way, just so you get to that one.
Oh yeah, and of course, sorry, I didn't see it there. I don't know how I missed it, but Anthony sucks. So, and we love dog.
Love dog.
Love dog. So, all right, guys. Once again, comment that favorite ice cream below,
Mhm.
and we'll see.
Smash
You
the subscribe button.
guys. Subscribe to Lucho. Once again, uploads daily, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. All right.
Sign
Good luck,
off.
everybody.
Bye for now.